Welcome, welcome. Blessings, everyone, and welcome to The Feminine Mind. My name is Linnea, and before I even continue, just stick a pin because I can hear an audio playing in the background. So just wait for me. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining me. Apologies that I'm late. I actually scheduled the live for 9 p.m. and then I went to the city thinking that I would get back very quickly, and actually I got back so late because there was some traffic, some things locking down, lines locking down. So I essentially got back a little while ago and I quickly had something to eat, and then I'm here. So thank you so much for joining me. Those of you who are new here, those of you who have been here from the beginning, and those of you who have recently joined me, please let me know if you can hear me clearly, and we will jump right in. So I'll be waiting for some kind of feedback. I just need to make sure team member is checking this. Right, so yeah, let me know if you can hear me. Well, you can hear me because I just heard the audio playing. So thank you so much for joining me. So before I continue and jump into what is going to be quite a dynamic live stream, thanks for everyone who's watched my content this week. Those of you who have watched the replays even, it has been a pleasure to create and to share. Now, this video is called "A Woman's Cleavage Causes Grape According to Mentally Challenged Afua Rose." Hashtag surviving Afua. Okay, and I have to put that hashtag there because for many people, they have been on a journey where they are actually surviving Afua. Okay, so I wrote this down because I wanted to make sure that I started the live with this. One thing that I would love to let every girl, young woman, middle-aged woman, and elderly woman know is that your exposed cleavage and the way that you choose to clothe your own body, the body that belongs to you, is not an attractor of grape. Global studies show from various countries across the planet that grape, okay, the physical domination and wrongful advantage taking of a woman in a physical way is about power and control and not about attraction. Most women know their offender. Contrary to popular belief, the most popular clothing item associated with a grape case is not a revealing item of clothes, is not something that allows a woman's cleavage to show. But believe it or not, the most popular clothes that are associated with grape cases are, wait for it, pajamas. And so it meant a lot to me to come live. Thank you so much, V Morgan. You can hear me loud and clear. Thank you. I didn't see that. The comments weren't open. I don't know if I can do this in my glasses, you know, because I think I'm getting a bit of a reflector, but let's continue and see how it goes. So the most popular item of clothing that is associated with grape in any court case is not a revealing top, a short skirt, a short shorts, a tight top, but in fact, it is a pair of pajamas. Now, I'm creating this live not to address Afua Rose because I actually have to say a few words in regards to Afua before we begin. Okay? Now, in my career and in my personal journey, yeah, as a musician and as a wellness facilitator, okay, both of which take on various different shapes and patterns, okay, I have come to understand, specifically through studying African spirituality, that the mental health of many people is not what it appears to be, Okay, just trying to clean my glasses. I think they're a bit unclean, and that's the reason why. So if I can't sit through them, good, right? So the mental health of many people who are deemed sane is actually not on a level. And so over the past 2 weeks, since Afua Rose was arrested for malicious communications and hate speech, now we know, and harassment against DJ Styler, we know that DJ Styler is not the only recipient of this kind of behavior. And since I've been accounting my personal experiences, the experiences that other people have of her and her own conduct, I keep on saying, that is sick. That is sick. That is sick. And for that reason, the more that I see unfold with Afua Rose's behavior, it is my responsibility as a healer, okay, that deals with mental health, physical health, emotional health, and spiritual health, to renounce and denounce Afua Rose as a sane person. It is my professional view, much of which I don't share a lot of my professional views around mental health and wellness. Maybe because where I've learned from is quite alternative. It's not mainstream. It's not university based. Okay. But it is my professional view. It is my professional opinion that Afua Rose is mentally unwell. And the only kind of debate that we should be having about her being unwell is what came first. Is it that the evil behavior, the evil conduct, the destructive intentions, thoughts, beliefs, and actions, did they make Afua become mentally unwell? Or is it that Afua Rose was already mentally unwell, and it is the mental illness, the mental imbalance that is leading to her doing so much evil on the planet? So I would love to hear your views on that, but I have to take a stand because of my background, because of my experience. I can no longer say, oh, Afua is just being wicked, because the things she's doing, the things that he even have come to me over the past few days about her conduct, shows that we are dealing with someone who is mentally unwell. And that is the status I am giving her first and foremost. She's a disruptor of good things. The way she conducts herself, her age, her status as a mother and a grandmother, the people who she connects with to literally create more negativity and destruction, they are also not mentally well. Now, it may be hard to believe that someone who on the surface appears to be sane is not sane. But I will tell you, during my journey, initially, I was studying health and nutrition, and how your nutrition can have an impact upon your mind. Okay. Then from there, I became a meditation teacher. This is where you deal with a lot of people who have problems on their mind. They have mental weights, they have mental imbalances. From being a meditation teacher, I then moved on to becoming a certified yoga and meditation teacher within an African system of yoga. My training and my first year of doing that taught me a lot about people's inner beasts. Everyone's got an inner beast. It kind of resembles an animal. Someone's inner beast could be like a pig. Someone's inner beast could be like a dog. Someone's inner beast could be like a bear. Do you get what I'm saying? And within the first year of me literally becoming a yoga and meditation teacher, I became very aware of that. However, it was when I started to study Ifa, Yoruba traditional healing, that I came to learn a different type of perspective when it comes to the mind, the head of a person, the ori. Ori means head in Yoruba, and how it is totally linked to many of the expressions that come out of someone's mouth, the actions that they take. And what I did learn is not everyone comes in with a sound head. Not everyone is born with a sound head. Some people, from the day they came in, their head wasn't right. Some people have certain experiences that lead to their head not being right. So when you have something like crab in a barrel mentality, this is where the heads of the people have become disheveled, and so they turn to devilry. And so when I did my last live stream, was it the last one? Maybe second to last. I can't quite remember. Basically, yesterday or the day before, I received a lot of communication that the mentally unwell Afua Rose was on her Instagram doing a live with a lady called Grandma Liz. Okay. Now, this Grandma Liz was first known to me when she was trying to stop her grandchildren from going into care. They showed the home of either Grandma Liz or her daughter, and it was an absolute state. Okay. Now, traditionally, women of a Caribbean background do not keep their home in a haphazard way. Yes, there are days when things become a bit chaotic, but we have a tradition, traditionally, Caribbean women and African women, we have a tradition where we pull back on ourselves and we keep the place clean. What I heard that Afua Rose and Grandma Liz were doing was attacking me because my cleavage was showing during a live. Now, I am not a young girl. I am younger than Afua and Grandma Liz. I'm not yet a grandmother. Do you get what I'm saying? But I am a grown woman. And I come from a lineage of very classy women. Do you understand? I come from a lineage not of Tegger eggs, not of lewd, raucous, vulgar women. That is not the line of women that I come from. I come from a line of women that whatever their spiritual or religious beliefs are, they have decorum, they have class, and they have grace. And even within this line of women, I was thinking as far back as even my grandmother, who was a Catholic, I remember seeing women in Jamaica, big women, even women that are teaching schools, they were showing cleavage. Now, Afua made some disparaging comments because she's mentally unwell and she doesn't have the ability to filter her communication. And what she said, she kind of alluded to the point that me, as someone who has survived SA, I shouldn't be dressing like that unless I'm trying to attract it. Something along those lines. I haven't watched it yet. This one I'm going to watch for legal reasons. Okay. And I thought about it, and it literally made me decide that, one, I'm going to do a video today about the myths around how a woman's dressing and how it either encourages or protects her from SA. But two, before I even go into the full topic at hand, I would have to declare that in my professional opinion, Afua Rose is mentally unwell. She's performed and carried out a series of behaviors and actions that point to her being mentally unwell. And if we don't acknowledge that she is mentally unwell, we will always be questioning her conduct. Now, growing up in Jamaica, I used to see a lot of madmen on the road. Seriously, there was not a lot. There was a few people. We knew those people were mad. Okay. And the easiest thing about that was it wasn't up for debate. We knew that those people were mentally challenged. They had some mental health issues that had led to them abandoning in whatever the life they had and living on the pavement, essentially. Now, we all know, and I'm sure you know, someone doesn't need to abandon their home and live on the pavement to be deemed as mentally unwell. Someone being unwell can be ascertained by how they behave, what comes out of their mouth, and what kind of actions that they take. And because I'm not and have never been in a back and forth with Afua, I am simply reporting my personal experience of her, the experience of other people of her, and what the effects are of those causes. I am never going to be in a back and forth with Afua, because the sane cannot be in arguments with the people who are insane. If you find, I don't know what the saying is, but they have a saying in Jamaica, like, you can't have a conversation with mad people, or they got some sayings, right? I hope it comes back to me. But the person who is sane cannot be seen, even if it's in private, seen by nature, by the creator, to be having an argument with those who are insane. So where Afua is very fragile in her ego, she takes any critique about her work and her conduct as a personal invitation to have a back and forth. I thoroughly decline. I am not having a back and forth with a mad woman. Last week, Afua went on her platform without this information from a specific woman, without permission from a specific woman, and she lied on an innocent woman and told all of her, what are they called? Pretty little goats of Baphomet, that this particular woman had been graped by a specific man. Now, Afua's issue is with this specific man. Afua didn't ask that woman, have you been graped by that man? Afua didn't even ask the woman, can I speak about you being graped by that man? Afua just ran off of her own tangent, and she does this a lot in her lying behavior. Now, if we just reduce her behavior to, oh, she's deceptive, oh, she's lying, what we're actually doing is overlooking the head isn't good. The mind isn't good. Either she is bipolar, she's got some type of personality disorder, but what we're not dealing with is someone who is mentally well and mentally healthy. And so from this day to all of the future lives, videos, content that I may make, I am going to seek to correct my language, because in my professional experience and opinion, we are not dealing with someone who is merely inflammable and toxic. We are dealing with someone who is inflammable and toxic because their mind is not well. Okay? And this is my actual right to say as a professional in that area. Nicola, Afua has her minions spying on you and reporting. I don't care. This is the other thing. The sane and the insane can't be in this type of thing. The insane can be doing this. That's Afua. Woo, woo, woo. The sane just holds their corner. I ask anyone to refute that Afua hasn't shown more than enough actions that shows that she's mentally unwell. I thought about it last night and I was actually quite sad. I thought, you know what? You're going to have to just speak to your audience, let them know, because at the end of the day, it's sad. There's nothing nice about seeing a woman, a grandmother, someone in their 50s clearly losing their marbles. There's nothing, like, I'm not that kind of person, like, good on you, or it's, you know, it's actually quite sad. It's quite sad. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not something to be, whoa, ho, ho, she's gone off her rockers. The amount of people that got in touch with me this week and said that they saw Afua like breaking down on the camera, all of her falsities, all of the facade has been moved. And now she's showing her true colors by attacking a big woman, which is me. No, the glasses aren't going to work. I'm getting too much glare back. I'll have to put them on in a minute when I start reading. By attacking a big woman who is me, I have an adult daughter. I am not a child. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not a young'un. I'm not a young'un. Do you get what I'm saying? By attacking me for my choice of attire as a beautiful Jamaican woman of African descent, antagonizing, sexualizing, demonizing a female that is me, simply because I'm opening my mouth and providing critique. I have to call it as I see it. I used to have a friend, she used to say to me, Some people's heads are just lost in the stew, right? And that is the case for Afua. This is the reason why over the past 2 weeks, I have raised so many levels of objections in regards to Afua and how she conducts herself. If we were to go back to the beginning of the 2 weeks, and I literally just said, this person is mentally unwell, and as a result of that unwellness, this is what they're doing, this would have been a completely different conversation. We have to have the ability to discern with our physical vision, with our spiritual vision, with our intuition, whether someone is sane or not. It is dangerous to say, oh, well, I can't make that call because I'm not a professional psychiatrist. Isn't Afua supposed to be a psychotherapist? Again, I see the psycho, but I don't see the therapist. And on that note, I am reaching out to any of Afua's followers who are watching and whatever they're up to. Please encourage your leader to get some help. It is sad. Do you understand? It's a disgrace. But obviously, when it comes to mental health, we can't say it's a disgrace. But this unwillingness to get therapy, this unwillingness to seek help means that someone and their poor mental health is allowed to literally vomit all over people's consciousnesses. Earlier on today, I saw Claire Kennedy put a video up where she was showing Afua talking about beating her children and how she's from a Jamaican stock and that's how they do things. And then she was showing Sherelle, a lady who I have seen on Afua's platform being absolutely humiliated and disrespected. The lady, she's not of sound mind, in my professional opinion. My experience of that lady, Sherelle, I have to stay far because she's not balanced mentally. What Claire Kennedy was showing was how they had the same speech coming out of their mouth. They were both saying that they beat their children and rare. And basically, without judgment, Sherelle and Afua Rose are essentially the same. The mental illness is the same. And so before I even go into the breadth of this video, I have to make it 100% clear. In my professional opinion, do you understand? In my professional opinion, drawing upon all of the wellness and healing tools, studies, qualifications, do you get what I'm saying? Experiences that I have had. I have been working with people's mental health since 2016, 2017. I will definitely say, be careful how you approach or even observe Afua Rose. If you don't observe her through the lens of this is someone who is mentally unstable, you will always be playing catch up. Okay? And this can happen. Women can have mental health issues, regardless of their age, regardless of whatever their journey has been. So can men. So before I even allow this to be a thing, where you even think to perceive, that this is a Linnea versus Afua Rose, I'm sure you noticed on my thumbnails, on my videos, I have never said anything about Linnea versus Afua Rose because Afua Rose is the patient. She is a patient. She needs to become someone's professional patient and she needs to get help. And those people who claim that they love her, that they care about her, if you truly love her and you truly care about her, do the right thing and encourage her. Have an intervention if it's her family, but get involved and get her some help because the only way out of this is down for Afua Rose. And for that reason, I can't even take a lot of her actions, what she says out of her mouth, her intentions, with no weight. There's no weight to it because how can you overly criticize someone who is mentally unwell? And I want you to look in my face. I am not being spiteful. If I wanted to be spiteful, I would just say, Afua, BBC, That's not my being. That's not who I am. What I'm talking about is what I'm actually sick of are when elderly women turn into living vampires, trolls, monsters, because they either have some trauma that they haven't had therapy for, or they have a hormonal imbalance, because once you hit 40, you can have hormonal imbalances. Do you understand? Whatever the reason that's led to Afua's mental breakdown, I am not coming at it from a place of spite, but I beg you, do not put me in any kind of, oh, Linnea and Afua are back and forthing. Because one thing about me is my mind is strong. Do you get what I'm saying? My mind is clear. That is the reason why in the last video, maybe it was 2 videos ago, we discovered that the false Grape story that Afua gave, this is like typical mental health patient. You lie under a false identity. You say that you have been raped. You're a big, tough black woman. That means you're sick in your head. So in Jamaican culture, we'll just say, oh, you're sick in your head, and that's that. Let's translate that to British culture. You have a mental health illness. For her to lie and to use the story of one of her most avid followers, right? And that was the story that she told. Let me show you how I'm not this angry black woman. I'm not going to be. I know which woman's story she used. And I never called the woman's name. I made sure I said, just out of respect, even if this woman and Afua and their little goats of Baphomet, even if they are unable to respect me, I am not going to lose my sacred seat to go and disrespect her by saying her name. So even now, there are many things that I don't say because I am a woman who enjoys being a woman, who understands that there is a code of womanhood. So even if I'm dealing with women who do not observe that code of womanhood, that will not make me move from my sacred seat. That will not make me shift. If I see someone being a devil, that's not going to make me turn into a devil. And if you check, what's happened is this. I was attacked and harassed by Afua Rose last year, March. I waited 4 months, you all know the story, to talk about it because I'm not reactive. Why? Because I've got proper mental health. Yeah, because I can sit with something. I can process something. I can detach from something. No one is pulling my puppet strings. You know, I have no puppet master apart from the creator. And the creator is not a puppet master. So I have no puppet master. When I came out and I made my content about it, I waited. That happened in July. I waited until October 31st. Let's count. August, September, October, 3 more months. So I waited 4 months. I did 1 presentation. I waited 3 more months. I did 1 documentary about Afua, and that's it. Until DJ Styler got arrested the other day, I haven't been putting out no more. I've only put out 2 official bodies of work about Afua Rose. It just so happened that one body was so freaking long. It was 7 hours long. So I'm ended up having to chop it up. And so it looks like I've done a whole body of work when what's really happened is I've done 1 body of work after 4 months of attack. I've waited 3 months and then I've done another body of work. So let Afua think about how this would play out legally. You came for me, you attacked my family. I respond 4 months later. You keep going, I respond. I'm not even responding. I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm saying what I'm saying. 3 months later after that, 7 months after the initial attack, okay? And Afua has been sitting on my name every single month of since last year until this year. So why is it that now Afua has been arrested and is under investigation? Eamon Edwards, DJ Styler, she's under lots of different investigations, not just DJ Styler. Why is it as I've come to speak about this that she now has a problem with me when she is the reason why I ever made content about her? Mental illness. On the last live, I said she's a duplicitous bully. Yes, she has got bully tendencies because she's mentally ill. She thinks people are afraid. What is it about Afua that would make someone afraid? What is it about a big, tough back woman who's about 5 years from retirement age, who has children, who has grandchildren she can't see, whose children were stopped from being put into care because of the same man that she demonizes. If it wasn't for that man, Viv Amun, her children would have ended up in care. What is it to be afraid of because she's an ex-convict or being a drug mule? All of these things are further speaking to the mental ill health. And let me tell you something. From the time I've been coming, when it comes to wellness, when did I become a yoga teacher? I became a meditation teacher in 2011, 2012. Okay, this is a very long time ago. I'm even a Reiki practitioner, but I don't even speak about most of the things that I'm able to do because I've actually moved on from that. I have been identifying what is wellness and what is illness. And let me tell you the next thing. Growing up in Jamaica, they have some sayings that they say about British people, you know. I'm sure many of you would know. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you. In Jamaica, they always say, I don't know about now, but when I was growing up, they would always say, don't go to England too long because British people are mad. So when I came to England as a teen, yeah, I was kind of looking out for, so what is the madness? What is it? Like, because I was literally conditioned to believe that British people specifically, not American people, not Canadian people, but British people specifically are mad. Now, I don't subscribe to that, but I'll tell you something. You see the madness that is exhibited within Caribbean people from the Caribbean that live in England is because they've brought over some issue that they already had on their island. And as they came over in the Windrush and their families continue to come over, there is some mental imbalance within a percentage of our community. There is. It is the reason why some women, they age with grace. They age beautifully. They become beacons of light and healing and hope and upliftment and enlightenment for the generations behind them. But you all know that even if you go to certain areas that are majority Black populated, you will see women like Afua. They are bitter. They are broken. They are mean. They are miserable. They attack. They push people down. They have no grace. They have no boundaries. These bitter, broken biatches. And then we will say, so why is this person? No, it's mental health issues. So you can't take it personally. How can you take someone's mental imbalance personally? Blessings, Kazella. How can you take it personally? How can you take it personally? If you're to take someone's mental health imbalance personally, then their imbalance is going to become your imbalance. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't get to observe, criticize, make some decisions, and even contact the law if necessary. You can be honest about what you're seeing, but you cannot take on someone who is mentally unwell and let them speak to your wellness. And this is why knowledge of self is so important. So on that note, let's move on. So just remember, this is not about there's no Linnea versus Afua. Linnea is the name that my mother gave me. Do you understand what I'm saying? Linnea is actually my birth name. It's not a made-up name. I am who I am. The same Linnea that went to school, went to nursery, went to college, went to high school. Do you get what I'm saying? This is the same Linnea. I am not going to even entertain the thought of being viewed as being in a back and forth with a mad woman. I'm not going to do it. If you want to even have some kind of ongoing debate with me, make sure your mind is well. I am not going, and this is another reason why I tell people, if you are being attacked by Afua, do not watch her content. Why? Her mental dis-ease will become your mental dis-ease. Dis-ease means there's a lack of ease. Her mental illness will become your mental illness. And all of you who are backing and supporting Afua, put some money on it and take her to see a doctor, because I'm forecasting right now, you're not going to like where this is heading. You're not going to like it. So you either get her to go willingly for therapy, willingly for healing, okay? Or you see her being dragged. And which one would you prefer? Sorry, Kazella says, they are walking around talking to themselves. It's all in their own mind. If you, I would encourage anyone, if you want to test your resilience and test your strength, come and meditate with me for 1 day. Come and do 10 days intense yoga with me, where you have to surpass the blockages in your mind and even your body and get some discipline. Touch your toes. Half of these people, yeah, I'm sorry. Half of these people, they're not even physically well, much less mentally well. Do you understand? So if Afua, let's go to the point of this video now. If Afua is such a big psychotherapist, why is she giving the impression that the way a woman dresses impacts her chances of being raped? Why is she giving that impression? That's because she's a liar, she's a fraud, and she's mentally unwell. So the stuff that spews out of her mouth is damaging because, one, it doesn't reflect the knowledge of a psychotherapist, but two, it doesn't even reflect the knowledge of someone who's done some basic research into SA. So I'm going to start doing some reading because this is a teachable moment. I am a teacher. I've been a teacher since I was 18 years old, and I love a teachable moment. All of the videos that I've done about Afua are all teachable moments. I understand that the mad are leading the mad. Oh, I get it. I get that. But I am not going to be one of the mad people leading the mad people. I don't need to lead anyone. I have made it my duty, and I commit to providing education that can lead to survival, that can lead to sustainability, that can lead to peace and wellness, providing true information, not oh, I'm vectors. Someone said I'm going to say, no. Everything that I've said is not coming from a space of emotions. It's coming from a space of truth, and the truth of what I'm observing through my perception and my perspective. So one of the biggest errors that Afua has made is she keeps victim blaming women. So that before I even read this document, this comes from the Washington Post. I have a question for Afua. When you were being fondled, Afua, when you were being felt up, Afua, when that big man who was a friend of your mother and father used to come around and grab up your bosom and grab you underneath and fill you up, was he doing that because you were showing your cleavage? That man that used to come and fill you up, Afua. Let's get to the center of the truth. This is probably why you're mentally unwell, because you haven't even had therapy for this situation. You've done no healing, no self-healing, no external healing. When Afua was being fondled as a child by a grown man who was friends with her parents, when he used to sneak into the house and the parents be in one room and he was filling up her private areas in the other room, was this man feeling and fondling Afua and grooming her because her cleavage was showing? Was that the reason why this pedophilic man was assaulting Afua Rose? Let's ask that again. Cause I have enough chat, so me want to hear how much I actually have for sec. Cause me now ramping on mad people. When Afua Rose, yeah, was being fondled and groped and felt up as a child by a man who was the same age as her parents, and they were in one room and he would be in another room with her, feeling her up in the most inappropriate way, fondling her and mishandling her. Did that man do that because Afua was showing her cleavage? Did that man do that because Afua, as a little child, was dressed up in a sexy way? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It is a myth that the way how women dress goes hand in hand with them being assaulted. And that is a dangerous myth because it immediately plays into victim blaming. So when this mentally sick woman, Afua Rose, went on her platform with another mentally sick woman, like, you know, what's that thing? Something loves company, something loves company. Misery loves company. So when these two mad women, yeah, one of them can't see their grandchildren. Oh, what a great contribution you've been to the planet. You can't even see your grandchildren. The other one comes online begging for her grandchildren who have been taken away by social services. So you both have something in common. When they came online to demonize and attack my beautiful bosom that actually breastfed my children, like, how dare you? When they did that, and when they were saying, oh, the way that you're dressed as a survivor of SA, you shouldn't do that because you're attracting it again with your demonic, mentally unwell personas. Why didn't anyone check them to say the facts? Because there's a lot of stupid people still when I watch Afua. They don't even read. You guys don't even read. You think you can just learn information through watching vlog after vlog? What's the last book that Afua's audience read? Do they read? No, because if they read, they would be able to check her. I am glad no one checked her because the amount of people that got in touch with me and found her behavior to truly show that she's a monster hiding behind a facade. I couldn't have made that up myself. So again, based on Afua Rose's theory about me and my big Oman bosom, of which I come from a line of very graceful women of decorum. I went to school with some amazing women, black teachers from Manchester High and Bel Air, and I saw cleavages growing up. So why is Afua coming with this perverse victim blaming and saying this unless when she was being raised, yeah, and when she was a child and she was being fondled, she was being SA'd, not penetration, holy feel up. When she was being felt up by this pedophile, did she attract that because she was showing her cleavage? Did she attract that because she was showing her cleavage? Does a child need to have anything remotely attracting about them to be preyed on by a pedophile? Absolutely not. Listen to these idiots that people are sitting down observing. Everyone sitting down agreeing with Afua. They are twice the idiot that she is. I'm now tech back my chat. You guys don't even read. What's the last book you read? I know I'm going around because I have to hit these. What's the last book that you read, you dunces? How dare you? How dare you make an elderly woman come online and say something like that? If a man had said that, you'd be jumping out of your knickers, but you let a woman say that and it's okay. And this dirty grandma Liz, listen, you see, if when I first hear about you, you're begging for people to help you because social workers are taking away your grandchildren. You can't chat to me, you know. I told you, I don't come from Tegareg people. I don't come from Tegareg women. Going way back on both sides of my family, maternal and paternal. I don't come from no little idiot woman. I got a serious lineage. And no women in my family on either side, including myself, have, like Afua Rose and Grandma Liz, had their children taken away from them by social services. You lot can't chat to me. You can't chat to me. I'm sorry. And I'm not demonizing women who find themselves in a situation. But hear what I'm saying. I raised my daughter on my own. No one ever came and took my daughter away. Same like with my mother. Same like with my grandmother. Same like with my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother on my father's side had 9 children. And one day her husband was working on the bridge. And the bridge must have broke where? And he died. That's my great-granddad. Do you think anyone had to help Aunt Belle, my great-grandma, to raise her children? Do you know what kind of stock I come from? Do you know what kind of ancestral energy is with me? We do not neglect our children. We do not have social services coming to our house to take away our children from us. And none of we know what list, and none of we know dance. How dare you, some little trampy people from like it's bloody black EastEnders. Don't come and mix me in your dance. Don't mix me in your stuff. Don't mix me in your stuff. If you are running a women's activist group, which is the reason why I'm saying it's insanity, you cannot even allude to a point that says that the way a woman is dressed has anything to do with her being assaulted or not. Do you understand? That means you haven't even done your basic homework, your basic research. Do you understand? How freaking dare you? You flipping mad people. Professionally, I'm saying that. You guys are sick in your head. You are mentally unwell and you need therapy. Go and heal by the fact that you can't even see your grandkids. Because as far as I'm concerned, the mother that I am, that is a nightmare. That's like one of the worst things I could experience, is to know that my children are having children and I've been banned because I am mentally sick. That's why I've been banned. Damn bright. Nicola says, she preys on the dance. That's why I said I'm not sorry for them. I said that before. I'm not sorry for any of them. This little dance back crew. And the illiterate like Grandma Liz. Grandma Liz, you think that you could even compare to my grandmother? I'm not calling her no bloody Grandma Liz as well. That's another thing. I'm not calling you no Grandma Liz. Because you're not my grandma and you couldn't walk a mile in either of my grandmother's shoes. You little derelicts. You adult OAP juveniles. How about that? Flipping mad people. Nicola, Afua is disgusting. Did you hear what she said about Styler's auntie? She needs a good seeing to. What woman says that about? What woman has so much evil things to say about another woman? I saw what she said about the lovely Auntie Shelley. I haven't met her. I haven't spoken to her. But from what I have seen so far, both with her supporting DJ Styler, you know, when Afua was being arrested, and also her having to listen. Think about how strong Aunt Shelley is. That's not no normal woman, you know. So Afua better not even be comparing herself to the likes of Shelley, because Shelley, knowing that Afua had been demonizing, slandering, telling all kind of lies on DJ Styler since last year, she kept her composure and listened to the sick-minded story that comes from the mentally unwell Afua Rose. Y'all are going to have to pick and choose. But you see over here on this platform, yeah, I am not forcing anyone to think how I'm thinking. But you see over here on this platform, I am not going to mix my words. I have a professional basis to say that Afua is mentally unwell. As a professional, then as a woman, then as a Black woman, then as a Jamaican. I have so many grounds upon which to say that. So I literally, it's important. I know that because, you know, dance people are dance, they can't take too much, like if I was to dictate and say, write this down, they can't hold the information. So I know it's impossible for people not to see me and Afua as having a back and forth. My name is Linnea Heru. Do you understand? I'm not having a back and forth with anybody. I am not having a back and forth with anyone. If you think that I'm making time in my days, of which I am busy and I've got so many things to do, if you think that I'm making this time to bring my level of consciousness down to the gutter, to the sewage, to the cesspit where Afua's consciousness resides, you've got another thing coming. I am simply reporting and critiquing. Most importantly, I'm critiquing. And that's the reason why Afua thinks she can try and, you can't take me on. You are dance and you're not well. Scratch the dance. You need mental assistance. You either need to go to a therapist or you need to go to a healer, someone who can actually access your consciousness and fix back what it fix. And I'm saying that as a professional. How about that? Because no one ever ring up, what you call it now, like how Claire Kennedy, she rang the university where Afua claims to have studied. she verified that Afua was lying. There's no such degree, even what Afua said. And if she had a degree in mental health, it wouldn't be a BA, which is a Bachelor of Arts. It would be a BSc, which is a Bachelor of the Sciences. So I'm going to repeat it each time I come live. But the mental health chicks and Linnea, it's not going to work. And I think if I am to take some responsibility for errors I have made, my error was not starting all of my videos from last year. I do keep saying she's not well in the head. I keep saying she needs healing, but I'm not making that the focal center point for whatever my views are around her. Right now, yeah, and moving forward, Afua is a patient without a doctor, and she's not going to become my patient. And I'm not going to be healing you, Afua. So the people who say they care about Afua, rather than watching her deteriorate and all the rotting that's happening on her brain, showing itself to the outside world, you don't care about her. You don't care about Afua. You don't care about her. Because if you cared about her, you would try even to help her, to save her life. Because where she's going, mark my words. Anyway, this is from the Washington Post. Again, it's a teachable moment where I will, rated 51 minutes. That was 51 minutes, you know. I can't believe it. 51 minutes. I feel like I've been there for like 20 minutes. In correcting the mentally unwell, the undeveloped, the immoral, the demonic. As a consequence, either she's mad because she's demonic or she's demonic because she's mad. So I don't know. It's like the chicken and the egg. I don't know which one came first. This false, fake, fraudulent, Nicola says she's a fantasist. This fantasist, I love that. This fantasist, thank you, of a woman's rights leader who is actually a fraud. Someone who cannot heal from the relationships that she's had with men, that she's bore children for. Several men, several children, can't heal, but wants to help and uplift other women. Please. She said that the way, paraphrasing what she said, the way how a woman's dressing is linked to SA. And another thing is this, before I continue, I realize I've got a lot to say. Let me tell you something. I am not no dirty girl out the road. I'm a grown woman. And you see, because I know that the way how a woman dresses has nothing to do with whether she attracts SA or not. That is also why I already said to you guys, I am not a victim of SA. I am a survivor of SA. No one has my power. Do you understand? Not the men who assaulted me, not this little Maddox woman, this mad woman that's trying to, I don't know what she's trying to do. No one has power over me. When I was growing up, I was a tomboy. I love my dungarees and jeans. You understand? And obviously I grew up with one brother, road full up of men. So I was essentially a tomboy. But my mom, she used to always buy me some free little dresses that when you spin, you know, when you're a child and you spin and the dress just keeps spinning and spinning. And I would love that too. So I realized I was a strange tomboy because as much as I was a tomboy most of the time, I was really into girly stuff. Like, just give me that dress that just spins and I would be in heaven. And as I've grown into adulthood and into my womanhood, I have my womanhood firmly in my own hands. And so the way how I dress, the way how I express myself, the way how I adorn, the way how I do my hair, from the time I had locks all the way till now, is an expression of the divine feminine energy that is within me. I do not give power to perpetrators. Because I know that, wait till I get into this article, you're going to weep. Because I know how many different types of clothing are associated with SA, because I know that you have these people, especially in England, this fake black woke-ish. I'm an island girl. Do you understand what I'm saying? We wear feminine clothes. Even if we're wearing a jeans pants, we're cute up ourselves. Even when we're going to school, it's part of the feminine expression. What Afua and old lady Liz, yeah, who can't keep her grandchildren, what they do is they let themselves go. Because so much man has stepped in their face, probably all stepping at them belly, beat them, cheat them, abuse them, use them. They become a part of the group of women who let themselves go. So when you see them look like all broom. Women, don't let anything, and I'm not talking about makeup, I'm just talking about attire, cleanliness, sweet. If it smells sweet, you get what I'm saying? If it looks sweet, don't make no man or even no janker like Afua encourage you through experience or words to let go of your womanhood. Women are the most beautiful thing on this planet. Man know that, and woman for know that too. And as a way of honoring your divine, your relationship with nature, with your creator, if you deem it so, as a way of honoring your life, don't make yourself lose yourself. You feel look good. Oh man, yeah, you feel look good. Whether you got 1 child or 20, whether you got 0 grandchildren or 15, as part of my culture, my immediate culture as a Jamaican woman, and my extended culture as an African woman, me feel look good. Don't let any fake woke Pan-Africanist tell you that you are supposed to dress in a way that someone who is mentally unhealthy is going to approve. What? You're trying to get the approval of someone who's not mentally well. You'll feel look good. Do your hair. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Do your hair. Get your eyebrows done. Let me tell you something. The only reason why I'm not wearing some cute nails is because I play the guitar. And I had to make a choice. Can't hold down the string them if you have on no nail. But let me tell you something. Me have some picture I can show you from before, but me have some pretty nail. Me's a dainty woman. Me look good and don't make any tough back woman. Do you get what I'm saying? Who doesn't even take care of her appearance, who looks like she might even have a bad odor. Don't let any woman tell you how to dress. Your breasts are not sexual body parts. That's the next thing to show how Afua is perverse. Women have breasts. It is part of their reproductive, sexual anatomy. The role of the breast is to feed a child if you decide you want one. If you decide. Because you don't have to have children if you don't want them. Stop making these tough head, ignorant people force you into versions of womanhood that you are not in resonance. Not every woman is to have children. It's a lie. It's a lie. Not every woman is to have children. Women, stop having children if you don't want to have children. If you choose to have children, the primary function of your breast is to feed said children, not to provide sexual titillation for a man. That is an extension of the primary reason. So basically, you see the whole of here, so I could walk down the road. Yeah, seriously. I could walk down the road. As long as my nipples aren't showing, I can't get locked up. Why? Because it's not private. Anyhow, cleavage was deemed as private parts. You would get locked up as a woman for showing your cleavage. Don't let this woman, do you understand? How many relationships do you have to have for it to work? And if the relationships haven't worked, which is very likely in patriarchy, why can't you heal, Afua? Because you're not mentally well. So how can you, the audience, take guidance from someone who doesn't even take care of their physical appearance? Please. Do you think my ancestors would allow me to come on this platform looking like a tough head broom? Are you mad? Do you go, are you mad? You must have done no mad. Yo, even my grandfather, my grandmother, me never see them go parade and don't look good yet. Me not come from them kind of people. Me come from people where every item of clean clothes in the house, yeah, are ironed before they go in the drawers. Me not come from fling down clothes in a drawer, people. I just have to say, because I realize we're all from different places. Don't mix me in it. Don't mix me. Don't mix me. Nicola says, look at her teeth. Stop it. You know what? I want to say. I did say to someone today, why doesn't Afua get braces? Like, I saw Claire Kennedy's video and I thought, but for your teeth, them a move. And the dentist must tell you so your teeth, them a move, right? Why you not get some braces? Nothing is wrong. I know in the UK, people think you have to be a young person to get braces. When I'm ready, I'm going to get, like, I think that my teeth are moving, not drastically, but when I'm ready, I'm going to get some braces. Me, I have to look good. You understand? Me, I have to set an example, even for my descendants. No brooming woman looking like a broom business. It's not going to cut it. Leave that to some teenagers, yeah? Okay. Oh, God. Nicola says, and she tried to say she was a stunner. What? Because her bum was halfway across the road because she's perverse. Anyway, up. Let's wrap that up. Please like the video. Miss say, you ever see me die in trial? Jesus and peace. This article is called "The Persistent Myth That Revealing Clothing Leads to Grape." It is on the Washington Post. It was published on the 10th of January. That's a couple of my friends' birthdays. The 10th of January, 2018. You ready? In your face. This is for all the mentally unwell that spew foolishness out of their mouth and don't realize what they're saying, how damaging it is. The persistent myth that revealing clothing leads to grape. A pair of pajamas, track pants, a child's t-shirt. The clothes which were reportedly being worn by grape victims at the moment they were attacked. Wheel up. Let's say that again. A pair of pajamas, track pants, a child's t-shirt. Where's this gone? Oh, hold on. I don't know where the article just went. Let me pull it back up. Because I'm going to read about 4 articles to you guys. And what I'm actually going to have to do is I'm definitely going to make this part into a separate video because I definitely don't want women, girls, teenage girls, oh, I've made it too big, that's why. Young women, middle-aged women, elderly women. I don't want them walking around thinking things were not go so. It is dangerous. Hold on. I don't know what happened to this article. Let's go back. It's all right. I got quite a few because I'm not just here to wax lyrical. I'm someone who reads, and I love reading actually. Okay, let me read this article instead. Hopefully it stays there. This is by DawsonWomenShelter.com. It's a blog. Why we still have to talk about clothes. So this is to refute any claim that 1, the way a woman dresses attracts SA. 2, that if a woman has experienced SA, she can't dress the way she wants to dress. Wow, balloons. She can't dress the way she wants to dress because of SA. Hey, Kazella, don't mix me. Don't mix me with a dunce bat sinting. Don't mix me. So here we go. This is called Why We Still Have to Talk About Clothes. Now, it's a shout. Clothes don't cause sexual assault. Sorry for yelling. We're just exhausted. We've taken on this too common lie about grape. There is absolutely no evidence that clothes can cause sexual assault. In January 2011, a Toronto police officer at a York University safety panel told participants, "I've been told I'm not supposed to say this. However, women should avoid dressing like sluts." You hear that? Sluts. In order not to be victimized. Okay. However, his words and centuries of grape culture sparked an international movement to end victim blaming. What causes grape? Is it sexual attraction? Is it desire? Or is it power and control? Don't get up on no platform and talk about nothing to do with women's rights if you don't do the basic studying to figure out what is what, because you look dunce. Still don't believe me? That's okay. It can take years to unlearn the victim blaming that we're taught. Here's some more facts. Although SA can happen at bars, parties, and concerts, 55% of SAs happen at or near the survivor's home. For oppressed folks, women, racialized folks, disabled folks, our homes are the most dangerous places in our lives. Have you heard that? Let me read that part there again. For oppressed folks, women, racialized folks, disabled folks, our homes are the most dangerous places in our lives. Most survivors are assaulted by someone they know. SA is not about sex, sexual attraction, or sexy clothes. Confusing, I know, because the word sex is there. But sexual violence is about making someone else feel less than and feeling power over that person. That's funny because Afua knows this. I know she knows this. So when she comes out and she says what she's saying, is her mental illness that is eclipsing what she knows. I know she actually knows this. So actual violence is about someone else feel less than and feeling power over that person. So the women that are disrespecting women who dress in the way they want to dress, they also want to make that woman feel less than, and they also want to feel like they have power over that person, because they're two different types of violence. One is verbal violence, what you're saying out of your mouth is verbal violence, and the other is sexual violence. Interesting, huh? If you're struggling with the clothing myth, you're not alone. 55% of men and 40% of women believe that women are much more likely, hear the key word, believe, much more likely to be harassed if they are wearing revealing clothes. No one asked to be raped. Still believe that clothes can cause assault? Okay, it says watch this video. So we're not going to watch that video. Let's go to another one. Because if in a thing say me a ramp with knowledge and information, I am not doing it. Hear me? I'm like, I am not doing it. Let me see if I can bring back up this Washington Post one now. Because there were a few articles that did speak about the same thing, the pajamas and the child's t-shirt. And I was like, rah. So how can you protect women if you're telling them a bag of lies about what's most likely to be the clothing item associated? If it's a child's t-shirt, you need to protect them children a bit more. But instead, you're looking at big grown women who choose to dress the way how they want to dress to express their womanhood to themselves. That's why you leave more people to go vulnerable when you do that. Alrighty. Okay. When you walk around here, you immediately notice there are normal looking pieces of clothes that everybody would wear. This is part of a chilling exhibition in Brussels intended to dispel the myth that clothing can be used as justification for SA. Okay, this is a quote, there is even a child's t-shirt with a My Little Pony in the exhibition. This too is the harsh reality. Most Grape victims know exactly what they were wearing at that moment. The exhibition, titled Is It My Fault?, addresses the question that some victims of SA and sometimes society ask about violent sex crimes. The so-called victim blaming occurs in both directions, said Kens, who told VRTI Radio that she was a victim as a child. Assailants would, for example, say against their victims, How did you dress at that moment? Or how did you act up? You were so drunk. A victim of SA will often ask themselves if they were part of it. For example, if it was their outfit or the way they behaved at the moment. At the Washington Post, reported in 2015, a Washington Post Kaiser Family Foundation poll on SA on college campuses in the US showed that nearly 6 out of 10 women said it was commonly believed that women who go to parties wearing provocative clothes are asking for trouble. But the majority of men surveyed disagreed. Why do you think the men surveyed disagreed? I'm going to tell you why. If Afua Rose, who we must always say is mentally unwell, if she believes that the way how I dress is going to get me assaulted, that's because that's how she raised her son. Okay? That's because that's how she raised her son. She would have raised her son to think that it is okay to take advantage of women based on how they dress. Now, these men who are disagreeing with the idea that a woman is more likely to be, attacked is because they weren't raised like that. So be careful, because those same things that you're saying to women reflect what you have been teaching your sons. And one of the most important jobs that a woman has is what she teaches her son. And the more ignorant that woman is, like old lady Liz, coming now call you grandma because you're not my grandma. In fact, I don't call none of my grandparents grandma. That's not a Jamaican thing. Yeah, it's near mama, right? Old lady Liz and Afua Rose, if they felt that the way how I was dressed would make it so that I was putting myself at risk, that reflects how you raised your sons. How about that? Anyway, Kenny's told VRT's De Redacte in 2015 that only about 10% of SA cases in Brussels are reported to local authorities. Then only about 10% of those cases that are reported result in a conviction. Well, that's more than the UK. Behind those figures are people of flesh and blood, women, men, and children, she said in Dutch. Our society discourages victims from speaking about what they have experienced. As BBC News reported, Kens said victims should never be blamed for crimes against them. There is only one person responsible, she said, one person who could prevent Grape. And who is that person? The perpetrator. The perpetrator. The man that was feeling up Afua when she was a child, fondling her and groping her, that is the man who is responsible for what happened to her. The perpetrator. So if she has had that experience, it can only speak to mental illness, why she would take any other position, because it is actually in conflict with her own experience. That is madness. I told you about this cognitive dissonance. I told you, when you believe one thing and you do another thing, you believe this thing over here, or this is true, and then you're over here acting like a big dirty donkey. You listen. You know what that listen means, right? Those of you who know me, that listen is usually followed by don't let me cuss bad word. Me sick of them sick head people, yeah? But one thing I'm gonna do, what me gonna say, I am so glad that I took the time here. Nicola, I'm gonna beg you something. Is it true me never see your name before? Don't use my platform to come and tell me anything that Afua and her people are saying. I am not in a back and, in fact, let me delete it. I'm not in a back and forth. I'm not going to ban you. Yeah. But guess what? What's that saying? Phone no business in a puss fight. I am a wellness facilitator in various traditions and practices. I am not interested in having back and forths with Afua or any of her goats of Baphomet. I see this thing that you mentioned here about Sarlene. I had to run that woman the other day. I literally had to run her. And I noticed since I run her, she never come back and say nothing. which is very typical. Yeah, very typical of these tough black women. Okay, so I go on to my post. I go on to TikTok, and under two of my posts about Afua, I see some questions from, what's your name? Serlene. I'm going to find it. Come on, I'm going to tell no lie. I'm going to find it. Serlene at GCPP. She comes and she starts telling lies on me. She goes, but you went on her program and you revealed your own alleged rapist in Jamaica. I said, no. I said, no, that's not true. I said, wrong. Don't tell lies on me. It's pathetic. And it is wicked that big, tough back women like you get your facts right and move away from me with your myths. Because that's a lie. And I thought, why is this big, tough back woman? You guys, listen. Then she comes again, and both of the posts were there. You also performed at her event, so how comes it's not okay now? You was fully supporting the fact that she was putting up SA men. You joined in. I say, I did her a favor. That doesn't mean I can't analyze her behavior, as I'm not one of her cult followers like you. Big, tough back woman defending this pimp. Also, if you watch my videos, you'll see that that isn't my issue. Don't be willfully ignorant and try to critique something you haven't informed yourself about. Because basically, Celine is coming to critique me when she clearly hasn't watched my content. And that's what makes you guys dunce. You cannot form an opinion, a fully informed opinion on anything that you're not fully informed about. So, Nicola, do me a favor, because I've never seen you here before, right? And I'm wary because Afua is troll nation. So she has trolls, she mixes with trolls, she gets information from trolls, and she's the amount of times that she sent trolls here on my page this week alone when I'm live. Don't Bomber Clark come and tell me nothing that Afua is saying. We are not having a back and forth. And that's the first time I ever cussed my, well, that's one of my favorite bad words, you know. That's one of my favorite bad words. And told true, up until this day, I always say, BBC, don't Bomber Clark come and tell me nothing. Otherwise, I'm going to block you. And that goes for everyone. If I ask you, run over to Afua's platform, the mad woman, the mentally unstable woman, run over to her and come and tell me, then you can come and tell me stuff. But if you can see that I'm actually focused on speaking about facts around Grape, don't come and tell me no, susu. This is not susu. This isn't wachi. This is not that kind of space. Please. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but don't ramp with me. Okay. Okay. Don't ramp with me. Okay. Told you I'm not from that kind of woman. Grape is about power. This is from vanguardingr.com by Itoro Eze Enaba. One of the biggest myths about Grape and sexual violence is that it happens as a result of uncontrollable sexual desire. Being uncontrollable, the perpetrator cannot be held responsible for his actions. Therefore, the survivor must have done something to be graped. Responsibility and blame are then shifted from the perpetrator to the survivor, which is exactly what Afua tried to do. In addition to talking about women being raped without having that information given to her and without having permission to speak on it. So what Afua is doing with her mental illness is she's assaulting women verbally by even bringing her opinions on whether she's been, they've been raped or not. Sometimes she's straight up lying. She is a verbal, that Afua Rose, based on my experience of what I have heard, she even spoke about me this week on her live with old Dottie Liz. And based on what I heard, she went onto her live last week, Friday, and said about a woman without permission or confirmation. She said this woman had been assaulted. She wasn't told that from the woman. She didn't have a right to say that. She wasn't given any permission. She doesn't even know if that's true or not. She's just making it up. So she is a verbal sexual assaulter of women, aka a trauma pimp. Grape is not about sexual desire, as all humans have such desires, but not all commit grape or sexual assault. It is not a crime of passion where the perpetrator loses control. Many grapists are in a relationship where their sexual urges are satisfied. Sexual assault or rape is a choice that they make. Rapists often plan their crimes. This is important. So rapists often plan their crimes, and in the case of children, groom them to gain their confidence and trust while waiting for an opportunity to strike. It is premeditated, and over 70% of cases of grape are planned in advance. So over 70% of grape cases are planned in advance. When this happens, the rapist takes away any control the survivor has in that situation. Grape happens in every society, but it flourishes in an environment where there is violence, where women's voices are not heard, and where perpetrators walk away free because the law is not effective and law enforcement officers are unable to differentiate between their professional obligations and their personal biases. This is even more difficult in a country like Nigeria, where police officers are not equipped to tackle the menace of grape and SA. Many police stations do not bother to document incidents of grape. Some policemen even take the bizarre route of mediating between the alleged perpetrator and the survivor. That's patriarchy. Very, very strong in Nigeria, patriarchy. Rape flourishes in many so-called traditional societies where women are considered less than men. In these societies, conscious efforts are being made to control women's bodies, and men are raised with a feeling of entitlement. The same entitlement I just said, that's how Afua raised her son. Okay, so men are being raised with a feeling of entitlement that women are there to do their bidding. Grape is also abetted by misogyny, which manifests in laws that discriminate against women. Support culture believes that women tempt. So this is the thing. Here we go. You know what? I think I prefer this article. Let's go back. Grape is also abetted by misogyny, which manifests in laws that discriminate against women. Support culture believes that women tempt men with their body and believe that women do not have equal rights with men. Let's read that again. Grape is also abetted by misogyny, that's the hate and abuse of women, which manifests in laws that discriminate against women. Sounds like anyone we know discriminating against women? Supporting culture believes that women tempt men with their bodies. Sound like someone we know? This is Afua. To come in like Nigeria. And believe that women do not have equal rights with men. Grape is about power and control. It is about violence. And rapists use their sex organs as weapons of violence. Grape is about making someone submit to your will. It is about power, anger, and control. Sex is the weapon, not the objective. So this idea that a woman, however she's dressing, she becomes desirable to a man, and that is why he would grape her, is erroneous, because it says here, which we should know by now, that grape is about power and control. It is about violence. And rapists use their sex organs as weapons of violence. Grape is about making someone submit to your will. It's about power, anger, and control. Sex is the weapon, not the objective. So it's not the goal, it's the weapon that you use. And I'd like to paraphrase this now. I'd like to paraphrase this. Afua's hate speech and her verbal sexual assault of men and women is about power and control. It is about violence. Afua uses her verbal organs, her mouth and her words, as weapons of violence. Afua's conduct is about making someone submit to her will. It is about power, anger, and control. Verbal abuse is the weapon, not the objective. Do you know how deep that is? That I could literally take out the essay, slot in Afua, and for those of you who have been attacked by Afua, you know what I've just said is right. So before Afua literally sits down and makes SA her forte, she really needs to think about where she herself is being an assaulter, a violent verbal essay assaulter of men and women. Here's another one. Let me open this up a bit. All right. This is supporting the victims of grape or serious sexual assault. It is from blueskies.org.uk/myths-FAQS/MYTHS/#. There are many myths about the crime of Grape and SA, which make things harder for victims who have experienced Grape or SA to disclose the incident and seek help. These myths are dangerous because they hide the truth and leave many who have suffered Grape and SA to cope with the assault alone and in silence, or in the case of the mentally unwell Afua, to cope by having other people harassing you, slandering you, and attacking you about the experience you've had. You, what do you call it? You phallus worshipping women. You phallic worshipping women. Okay. Myths about Grape are all about moving the responsibility for the crime from the perpetrator to the victim. Grape and SA are about power and violence, not sex. The majority of sexual assaults are planned carefully and are not, same thing, are not committed because of uncontrollable sexual urges. Right? The offender myth. This is the myth, right? Those who grape are sick or not normal. Tell me what you guys think about this, because I already read this. I found it quite interesting. Fact. It is rare for grapists to be diagnosed with a mental illness. There are stereotypes of grapists as people who are unable to lead normal lives. The reality is that grapists are normal men, husbands, partners, neighbors, work colleagues, etc. It is difficult for someone to call this person a grapist because they will feel disbelief about what's happened and also feel that they won't be believed by others. Grapists are ordinary people. Many are highly respected members of the community, and in 1980, in England and Wales, only 2% of convicted grapists were considered to be in need of psychiatric treatment. So the myth is those who grape are sick or not normal. The fact is, it is rare for rapists to be diagnosed with a mental illness. There are stereotypes of rapists as people who are unable to lead normal lives. The reality is that they are normal men, husbands, partners, neighbors, work colleagues, etc. What do you think about that? Toxic Brum. Oh my God. I have been muted in Afua's live just for having a different sort of opinion. That's your fault, because what are you doing over there? The woman is mad and you're sitting down having a difference in opinion with a mad person. I'm sorry, but you get me? What did you expect was going to happen? I got put in timeout and bullied verbally by her mods. Well, what were you doing over there? You get me? What were you doing over there? I don't really have much empathy. What were you doing there with the mad woman and her cult, pretty little goats of Baphomet, who are all mentally afflicted? What did you expect? Toxic Brom. I'm a survivor and was just trying to say I have been triggered by all this with her and Claire. No empathy or compassion from anyone. Instead, I was accused of being, well, what are you doing over there? this is me. I'm a mum. Well, why were you there? If you are so triggered, why are you there? Why are you going to sit down and let a mentally unstable woman share her mental dis-ease with you and expect fairness and justice when you're dealing with someone who's mentally unwell? Why are you trying to share your opinions with someone who is mentally unwell if you're not unwell too? So I don't really understand, seriously. Kazella said, I needed that water. Kazella said, because she doesn't care, she is trash. Who are you saying that to in relation to Toxic Brum? Because if you're going to go to a witch, I'm not calling her a witch, it's an analogy, like, say it's like Hansel and Gretel. When Hansel and Gretel realized the witch are going to yam them not try to run away? Did they stay there hanging out and giving feedback upon her actions? No. You can't barter with the insane. You can't negotiate. You can't debate with the insane. And trying to do that is a reflection of your own mentality. Why would you be trying to debate with the insane? You'll have to do better. I said, don't bother come over here and tell me that and expect me to feel sorry for you now. Yeah. Woo! Because I won't feel sorry for y'all. Come to me with that long anyway. You know the bad word them. I don't know either party. This is Toxic Brom. I have been watching both and wanted to critically analyze for myself what was happening but I understand that. Okay, that's a fair point. What they said is that they wanted to critically analyze for themselves what was happening, as it has been confusing. Okay, I understand that. But why did you start telling them your views and expecting them to handle you as a human being when you're dealing with mad people who can't even see their grandchildren? Hello? Legally. Woo! Legally, you know. You want to come and call my name, you need to go call your grandpa them name and get on your knees and go and ask Viv, Mr. Viv, I'm not being disrespectful at all. Go and ask Mr. Viv to pay for your mental health therapy. Do you understand? You're there online because you ain't got no... Listen, don't play with me. Okay, let's get back to it. Here's another myth about Grape or serious assault. Myth. Grape is a crime of sexual needs or uncontrollable urges. Fact. People can and do control their urges. Grape is a crime of violence, control, degradation, and intimidation. It is not about sex, but about power. The vast majority of grapes are carefully planned. Now let's wrap that up into Afua's. What did I say she was? A verbal sexual assault. I don't know how that's possible, but I can listen to this. Afua's mouth is a crime of expressive needs or uncontrollable urges. Myth. Fact. People can and do control their expressive urges or their urge to express. Verbal violence is a crime of, or Afua's conduct is a crime of violence, control, degradation, and intimidation. It is not about truth, but about power. The vast majority of Afua's verbal attacks against people are carefully planned. Isn't it interesting how I can do that? Do you think that's interesting? Nicola says they've been trained to mute those. That's because you go on a cult's platform where you can only stay there if you agree to the rules of the cult. And you share some objections and you don't realize that you're dealing with a cult. And at the top of the cult is someone who's mentally unwell. Like, you need to check yourselves. That's why you guys, you need to check yourselves. You need to go back and watch some of my previous content. And then you understand, oh, you may have made, because essentially, are cults usually run by sane people, or are they usually like psychopathic, unwell, mentally unwell people? So, yeah, I'm sorry you had that experience, but hopefully you will learn from it. Okay, here's another myth. Classic Grape is committed by a stranger lurking in an alleyway with a knife. Here's the fact. All Grape is serious, and there is no such thing as real Grape or classic Grape. Rape involves someone having sex with you without your consent, and contrary to popular belief, most victims are overcome by the fear of violence rather than its actual use. So-called stranger attacks do happen, but the vast majority of reported grapes involve a victim and offender who are known to each other in some way. Very often, the relationship is a close one, such as a marriage or family. It is likely that an even greater proportion of the unreported grapes involve people who are known to each other. Research shows that over 80% of grapists are known to the victim. He may be a friend, a workmate, a relative, or a partner. These grapes are less likely to be reported to the police, given the greater impact that reporting the grape will have on the victim's personal life. This probably contributes to the widely held but mistaken myth that grape is, in most cases, committed by strangers. That's deep, right? So those are some myths around the perpetrator. Here are some the offender. Here are some myths around the victims. Myth. No. Ooh, I hadn't read this bit before. This is interesting. Let me see what Toxic Brum is saying before I go into it. Toxic Brum. Some of us are new to Afua's page. Okay, fair enough. I'm from Brum. That's Birmingham, for those of you who don't know. And recently watched at the start of the year. I don't watch every week, but since she brought up the other page, have you listened on this YouTube? If you check 2 videos back, 3 videos back, you're going to see a video. Let me tell you what it's called. This is what you need to go watch. Let me get the full title. Corrupt YouTuber Afua Rose lies about 2-day grape experience. She's angry about being exposed. Go and listen to the audio of Afua lying about being groomed, trafficked, and assaulted for 2 days by herself. And then when you're finished, watch Afua Rose, the Trauma Pimp. Because that is a good introductory level. Yeah, to Afua. Watch that. And you will catch up fairly quickly. Kim J. Toxic Brum. What she did to Claire was disgusting. She lied. I'm not a Claire fan. But she's definitely challenged Afua. She's not... Oh, yeah, she has challenged Afua. Got it. And shone a light on her contradictions, a.k.a. poor mental health. Kim J. I've also been muted and placed in timeout for asking Afua why she isn't addressing the audio. Kim J, you can't ask Afua that. It is a cult. You have to submit and obey. We honor you, leader. We honor you, leader. If you're not doing that, you're going to have to bounce off that platform. It's not for critical analysis. It's not for truth. It's not, that platform is not for truth. She's done some very deviant, evil things, and now is her time. That's why her backside got arrested the other day. Toxic Brahm. Oh, Nicola says she was sick for that. That's right. Toxic Brahm. I agree, Kim. Hence why I started looking for myself. I'm really disappointed with her, to be honest. This was not help. She's not helpful for survivors. There has been many contradictions in her story. I can't support it. Well done. Nicola, she's definitely scared of Claire. She definitely is. And me. That's why why is Afua doing a live about me? I swear this is the second live so far in 1 week. What's got you scared, mama? What's got you? Wait, why are you mentioning me? I am not an assaulter. I am not supposed to be on your platform. You're supposed to be calling out Grape. Now you're going to try and tarnish my character. You think you can tarnish my character worse than yours? Worse than yours when you can't see your own grandchildren? When you're a drug mule that got locked up and you were a drug mule, yeah, willingly, knowing that your children and your grandchildren would go into social care. Move from me. You can't. Why is Afua afraid to? She's afraid I'm a tour? Because if she wasn't, wouldn't she be exposing some guy, some SA offender today? But no, it's me. Why? Because I am not caught up in the attempts to, what do they say here? Control, be violent, exercise power. I am not caught up in that. I don't answer to people. And if out of all the people on this planet, I genuinely don't feel that Afua is someone that I should be scared of. Not me. Not me. My father come from Trenchtown, yeah? Proper garrison. There are people on this planet to be scared of, but Afua isn't one of them. Oh. Kim J says she's really trying to clean up her act. Claire she's not trying to clean up her act. That is an act that she's trying to clean up her act. Claire offered the victim a day out. I think she showed empathy. Afua never mentioned that. Why would she? Because Claire is essentially offering her a healing time and self-love space to recover from the trauma that Afua has inflicted by, okay, how do you, okay, you're going to be a fake person. You're going to tell a lie. You're going to make up this story about being assaulted, but you don't have any imagination, so you don't make up the story. You steal the story of one of the women who have come on your live, and you repeat that story literally almost beat for beat. Now, sad. Don't you see that that's mental sickness? It would be easier to say, "Them girl, they're wicked, you know." But that's sick. That's why I said that when I first found out this woman is sick. And I would say, if you never hear from me again, if you never see me again, I would like you to take something from me with you, which is to have the ability to assess and ascertain and acknowledge, AAA, assess, ascertain and acknowledge when people aren't freaking right in their heads. You have to have the ability to do that. How are you going to be safe on this planet? Do you need to go study psychotherapy to know someone's sick in their head or not? Of course you don't. Of course you don't. These sciences come from man. We come first. Humans come first. Not the studies. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you can't please someone and say, you spoke to Auntie Shelley, that was like half an hour, about half an hour of lies. She's lying to Auntie Shelley. She's pretending to be someone else, and she's lying on herself. That's sick. Then she uses the story of one of her most avid supporters, Toya. Oh shit, I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh well. It just came out. Hopefully, because you know when people watch that video, they don't always watch the whole video. So hopefully it's so far in the video now that no one actually remembers. Maybe you didn't even catch what just happened. But she uses one of the stories of her followers. And then while I'm out here playing the video, I see people commenting and saying, do you know that that is the story of so and so and so? And I'm like, for real? Can you verify that? And by the time I come off, it was Melissa who said it initially. It was all verified. That is so and so story. And you lot are sitting in that woman's comments. Then, bruh, come on, man. You have to. You got to have some discernment. You don't have to wait for some external body to tell you if someone is well or not. Who sits down for months and months, sweet talking and having phone sex under a false identity with their child's father? Who does that? As a big tough back granny? Are you sick? Are you guys sick? Come on. Think about your grandma. If those of you had grandmas, because that's what I do. I always bring it back to my granny and say, let me see if I can imagine Mama, that's my grandma, if Mama and Papa weren't together anymore. Mama is going to pretend to be Miss Sandra. She's going to be having phone sex with Papa. She's later, not my ancestors. Don't you see? That's mentally. That's why people need to think. You need to think. Because just one of these many stories shows that Afua is not mentally well. What are you guys doing in her comment section? Come on. If you're not being booted out of the comment section, something is actually wrong with you. You should be getting booted because you should be saying something that's rational and critical. And they should say, oh, no. Don't offend our leader. don't offend our leader. And if they're not kicking you out, then something's wrong with you. Because I'm sorry. And the next thing is, you see my daughter, right? I homeschooled my daughter for years and years. And when it was time to put her in school, I think it was the end of primary school, I said to her, listen, I used to always say to her, you got some children in them schools. Stop dying to go to school, I used to say, because there's some children, they're not being raised properly. They're not being raised with love. They're not being raised with any kind of nutrition. They're just being dragged up. And so it's been a journey. Like, my daughter went to the school and she came back after a few months and she said, Mom, I used to always think that you were being like, you were exaggerating. But you know what? You're actually right. Like, a lot of my peers, not all of them, of course not, but certain people were just being dragged up. Now, bear in mind, that isn't their fault. If you're a child and you're being dragged up, that's actually the parents' fault. It's not the child's fault, right? But then obviously she went to college, then she went to university, and we start taking up the awareness of how people are. So that's a show ethnic. I have to tell my daughter, like, don't you see that this person in your midst is a straight full-blown narcissist? I've had to show don't you see what your friend just did? Did you not think that was sick? So she's had to start to, a bit of a matrix, like, yo, I got to navigate these mad people. So this is someone who's very, very young. So if I'm training my daughter to discern, because remember that narcissism is a mental health, it's an anti-social personality disorder. It falls under, you've got mental illness. That's what it falls under, because something ain't right with you. So I personally think that we have given Afua way too long because we haven't been speaking about mental health. But you see, the minute when you start speaking about mental health, you realize she's gone. She's full blown, like, down the road. She blew down the road a long time ago. I don't think that Afua has lost her faculties since I stopped talking to her. Her faculties were already gone. It's just this benefit of the doubt. Let me tell you something about the dressing. I don't want to get back to the dressing. Oh, if you dress like that with your bazookas out, you look like a hooker. Hooker. No, let me not. Right? When you do women's rights, you're not supposed to attack sex workers. Did you know that? There's just certain little rules to this thing because it's either everyone's in or no one's in. So I realize, just so you know, I come from like a Garveyite Rasta family. And as I grew, I really grew into different mystery schools, academic schools. I've been through lots of different schools of thought. I started living on my own when I was about 16, 17. And I would do this thing because I realized people are fickle. People are fickle. So I used to wrap my hair, right? I had locks at the time. So sometimes I would wrap the hair going back like this and put the knot at the back. Then sometimes I would wrap the hair up like this and put the knot at the top. Then sometimes I would just leave the hair out. Do you get me? Sometimes I would have a cap. Sometimes I would wear like full African print with the head wrap all. And then sometimes I just have my hair down, wearing one leggings and one boob tube. And it was like an experiment to me because I used to notice that every day when I come at my house, depending on how I did my hair and my body, it would literally dictate who was going to talk to me that day. So when I wore my hair back, look, the head wrap, the headscarf, when I took it back and had the knot at the back, I would get so much salam alaikum, salam alaikum. Them time them me just come at Inga, you know. When they even realize for a while, oh, that's an Islamic thing. Like, because my knot is at the back, they think I'm Islamic. So today they're respecting me. But make it be tomorrow when I take the head wrap up. No salam alaikum. Seriously. No salam. And it would be so entertaining to me. I'd be like, raw. Didn't that guy say salam alaikum to me yesterday? So now my head wrap's gone up this way. And it's, you know, a bit more rambunctious and bouncy. Now you don't see me. But what I would get on that day was, blessed Empress, blessed. You get what I'm saying? And so on different days, some days now, I don't bother tying my hair anyway. I might even wrap it up in paper, the locks, and then it comes out all curly. I used to love that style. It comes out all curly and stuff. Maybe I want like a jeans, I want sneakers, I want like a t-shirt. No blessings, Empress. No salam alaikum. Just like, what's up from the regular man them on the street. And I used to think, you guys are so fickle. That's why women can take man for idiot sometimes too. And it's not just a male thing. This is coming from men and women. But it made me realize you see, women, if we see this, if we bear witness to, based on how I'm dressed on every single day, it dictates who's going to talk to me, who's going to respect me. It will make you look at these people external to you as idiots. Because rather than just honoring someone for being a human being, they have to somehow be in alignment with your religious beliefs. That's what it boils down to. Like, bless Empress, bless Empress. That means I'm in alignment with your Rasta beliefs. Oh, salam alaikum, salam alaikum. That means I'm in alignment with your religious beliefs. You get what I'm saying? And it really made me who I am today, which is that I know when people first see me, because y'all love to judge people by how they look, I trick y'all. I trick people. They be looking at me thinking, I don't know what they're thinking, but I'm assuming this gal is an airhead. She don't know nothing about the black cars. She don't, it's all this like assuming that I don't know all of the major religions and the non-major religions, that I don't know the various perspectives around race and culture and society and psychology and sociology, because I like to not hoodwink, but I like to catch people out in their assumptions, and I like to put myself together in a way that I know they're probably going to take me for an idiot. And then when they do that, I will show them, stop for all of your religions that you guys say you have, and you're still judging people by how they look. Do you know how dangerous that is? That means that you are easy to manipulate when you judge people by how they look. You have to be able to look in people's eye. You have to be able to feel their energy. Let people talk and see what's inside of them. Stop making assumptions. So much time, man is looking at me. They come to me, depending on how I'm dressed, They might come to me with some fake woke-ish. I'm like, bro, I read that book. I know, oh, what was the name of that book? And I'll think about a book. That's what you're talking about, right? Because guys do that a lot. They come to you with bare perspectives, and when you check it out, it's a book that they read last week that they're trying out on you today. So this is the reason why judging women by how they put themselves together is a fool's game. And a lot of men and women get thoroughly deceived because they are practicing that kind of foolish judgment. Let me see. Sorry, I know I just went off, but I had to tell you guys that story. Woo! Women, culture, and business. Welcome, welcome. She says, I used to watch her, but as soon as I comment over there, I get side. Oh, so this is her thing. That's how you know it's a cult. A cult run by a madman. I get silenced and muted. It is real horrible. It's a real horrible low vibrational space. My friend is in Jamaica living his best life and they keep mentioning his name. Yeah, it is a low vibrational space. Here's my thing. I can't see my grandkids. There are injustices in the world. What the backside am I doing? Focused on all these injustices rather than fixing myself and making myself an appropriate elder. Like, no, the reason why Afua is so bitter and miserable is because she's so bitter and miserable. So why would she wish happiness for other people when she's living as this Pan-African woman? She, you know, this is a big thing. Africans and our children, Caribbean people and our children. This is a big thing, much less grandchildren. So what it is, misery loves company. And Afua has found enough dunce people like this lady, what's it called? OAP juvenile old lady Liz. How come she's online talking about how I look and what my cleavage is saying and how I look like I'm selling my body when she is, how does she raise her pick-me while her grandchildren are being taken into care by social services, you roaches? And they can't chat to me. They can't chat to me. Some little weird people, some weird gal thing. Listen, don't play with me. Do not play with me. Women, culture, and business. I cannot bring myself to curse her out, but she really irks my spirit. She entices her cult following to bully and harass anyone that doesn't agree with her forceful narrative. That's exactly what it is. And just so you know, because you came a bit late, I am not cursing her out. What I've actually decided that I shared at the beginning of this stream is based on my professional background and experience, in accordance with all of the healing systems that I have studied, that I participate in. Afua Rose is mentally unwell, and that's just that. So where we're looking at her evil, bad, negativity, low vibrational, what we really have, these are symptoms of the fact that she is unwell mentally. And those people who should be encouraging her to heal don't really care about her. So they're there with their jealous woman, crab in a barrel mentality business. Okay. And so the only real question, I just repeat this for women, culture, and business. The only real question in regards to Afua is what came first? What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg is Afua's mental health illness, her mental imbalance. And the chicken is her evil behavior. So was it the evil behavior that affected the mind and led to her being mentally unwell, or was it the mental unwellness, that the MH? Someone said that to me the other day. I was like, what's MH? And he was like, mental health. I was like, right, I never heard that one before. So was it the MH? Was it the mental illness, the mental health that led to the evil? That is the only debate in regards to Afua. And the other thing that I said, women, culture, and business, just so you know, because you see Afua, she's looking company. She's looking company with her devilment. She's looking company with her low vibrational thing. She wants to pull not just her susceptible, pretty little goats of Baphomet cult followers, that's the audience, not just them does she want to pull into her abyss of negativity. She wants to pull everyone into it. So her pre-planning, her way to deal with the fact that I have been making content, videos about her, and for the past 2 weeks, since she's been arrested by DJ Styler, I have been talking about her nonstop. What she doesn't realize is that I am reporting, critiquing, and talking about my personal experiences as well as the experiences of others. She thought, yeah, with her low vibration, with her mix up mental health, passa mindset, that she could draw me into, she's going to be on her platform going, Linnea this, Linnea that, and when she did this, and I'm going to be here going, and when she did that. We are not of the same caliber. Yeah, we are not, because I never ended up, listen, you have to give people respect where it's due. I ain't never been a drug mule in my life. I am not an ex-con or a convict. I haven't done time. I raised my daughter beautifully from beginning till end to adulthood. Social services have never had to take my child away from me. I have never been talking to the father of my child, pretending that I'm someone else, having phone sex, all this. Look at the dirtiness is that. Having all of these nasty experiences just so I can hook up with him under a fake date and then end up exposing him. In fact, most people don't have a clue who is the father of my child. What's the next thing? I have never come online and spoken about lots of different, just ex-partners generally. That's not part of my my public persona, is to tell you about my past relationships. That's not my style. What else? I have never contacted a platform like Claire Kennedy, pretending to be someone else with a fake account, lying that I've just created it because of the Claire Kennedy page, when in fact it was in creation from way before Claire Kennedy had that page. I have never spoken to another woman, white, black, or otherwise, and told them a whole half an hour lie about a false grape trafficking and grooming experience. I have not caused the pain and destruction that her verbal violence has caused and is still causing in the lives of so many. I have not done that. So this is never going to be a Afua versus Linnea thing, not in that context, not online back and forth, because your intelligence has to be reflected in your actions before we could even get to that space. And it's clear. And let me tell you something as well. I have never called anyone out online for anything unless they did me something terrible. I have anybody that I've called out during my careers, they were trying to step on my head, and I decided enough is enough. I am not a gossip page. I am not a gossip chick. Do you understand? I am a musician. And the only reason why I'm even able to do these lives is because of my recording schedule and my songwriting schedule and my rehearsal schedule. I am working on my next album. You can check out my YouTube called Linnea, and you can check out my music on all platforms. I am not here for this Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Basketball Wives. They're upon a little something there like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Miami. I'm not that person. Okay, I create, and I told Afua to write a book about trauma, and I realized I want to do it myself, because you can't even give mad people guidance unless you are the person responsible for their healing, and I am not responsible for her healing. So that is not what I'm here for, just so you know. So obviously you lot catch me at different points in the live. Regardless of what you hear me saying, this is not a back and forth with me and Afua. Because my mother used to always tell me something when we truly come to understand. Let the dead bury the dead. I told you guys from the first live that I did, I know Afua was sitting down watching and no one believed me. And then when she started to, the minute I put out the audio with her lying about her Grape story, that video was up for 1 hour. 1 hour, you know. And then I got an email. It was taken down. Why? Because in the middle of the video, I played a short clip from her page. She watches everything. That's just to confirm what Kim J is saying. But what she should do is to seek help before it is too late. And everyone needs to learn how to be discerning. Like, how do you know if someone in your midst is losing their mind? What kind of behavior are you looking for? Or would you just allow someone to unravel, and you just allow them to keep doing that till one day it's like out of everyone's control? Because I always tell people this when it comes to coaching. I always say, look, you see if there's someone that you need to break up with, or if there's something that you know you need to do, whether it's relationship-based, work-based, health-based, try and make sure you do it. Because you see, if you don't do it for yourself, nature has a way of taking the decision away from you. And you see, when nature takes that decision away from you, you're going to regret it. You will regret. So if you can identify, oh, I've got this friend and I really shouldn't have this friend. You see, if you don't act upon what you know and do the right thing, and you leave it to life to deal with it, the way how you and that friend's going to mash up is going to be something you're going to regret not nipping it in the bud when you knew you should. And that is how we need to perceive Afua. If the people who care about her don't get on top of her mental health situation, don't have an intervention, don't force her to get help, then she's going to be forced to get help. And everyone is going to regret not to, because the way how it's going to be abrasive, is going to be destructive. So unatanda laugh after mental health problems, yeah? You guys stay there laughing because it's not funny. Let me see what Kim J is saying. She's done so much and keeps trying to justify everything, just like a PIMP. I don't know what you heard about me. That's what they do in it. They justify everything. And only get followers to believe her. She brought on this award company. If be embarrassed old people. What the frick? I can't read that out. No, sir! Me can't read that out. Somebody tell her about some part of her body and she read it out. Kazella's busting out laughing. Kim says, who does that? I think she bathes in hate. Kazella says she's absolute trash. Kim J says she loves the hate. Kim J said it's true they did. So someone told her something really awful about her smell of a part of her body, and she read it out. Jaja, at least I didn't read it out. I had to like, oh, I can't read that. I can read it, but I can't read it out loud on my interview. No, sir. No, sir. She brought on this award company. But what do you mean by if be embarrassed old people? What does that even mean? I can't with you lot today. I can't. I see that you lot just want to run down Afua, you know. Why is no one saying, yes, Afua is mentally unwell? You guys are just rubbing her out in the comments. Don't do that. You can't. You have. Remember that there is what you call it now? Discrimination. You know, you don't want to discriminate against the mentally unwell. Cheese and peas, Nicola. I can't write that out neither. I can't read that out. I can't manage, you know. Sorry, she brought on this award company, and I said I'd be embarrassed. It's old people business. What does that mean? It's old people business. Sorry, I can't manage with you lot. I cannot manage. I cannot manage. I'm actually looking at something. What are What are the symptoms of mental ill health? One is bizarre or strange thoughts. Some might have a mental health problem if they think that they have a special power. Someone else is controlling their thoughts or actions. People are out to get them with no reason why this would be true. They can see or hear things that other people can't. High risk behavior. Oh. Unprotected sex, substance abuse. Well, you know she's a proper pothead. Kim J. Sorry. Okay. She is on. now you're agreeing. I'm like, rah, you guys are going to the park with this. She's on one. I'm very troubled. I meant it wasn't old. That's what I'm saying. So what Kim J is saying is she meant it was a bunch of old people doing old people nonsense. On a pension ready. That's what me want to know. You start out your pension. You're here trying to trample down the younger generations to you. Is your pension ready? Is it ready? Is it sorted? I mean it. Listen, don't let me cuss another bad word today. Get a freaking life. Get a life. You mentally sick claptraps. Y'all are more so no. At least we'll have Afua's cult following, the pretty little goats of Baphomet. I like that term. I must say, I like that term. And Afua, they need to be sectioned. So if you guys don't start encouraging Afua to do the right thing, it's going to be taken out of her hands. Bare old chicks. No diss, but they look older than my mom. I can't deal with you. Like Claire played 2 videos of where she and the other woman talking about, you know what the deepest thing is about that? Let me tell you something. Afua did a good thing when she decided that she was going to strike my videos whenever I used any of her content. Because she's like, oh no, you can critique me, but you're not going to use my own content to do it. Because you know what I had coming up? Yeah, man. I had it coming up. You see the same lady that Claire played, Sherelle. I was going to show when Sherelle came on Afua's live stream and Afua dissed her and said, you're sick. You'll need help. I can't help you. I didn't make any agreement to help you. You're sick in your head. You're not well. And I was like, whoa. I was so offended. This is years ago, maybe well over a year ago that this happened. So I was going to share that in addition to showing where she dissed up a few other women to show what she's like. And then boom. Even some women were begging for Sherelle saying, okay, she's got problems, but you're not dealing with it right. And it's those kind of things like, what's the point? Listen, you fudging waste of space. What is the point of you being here on this planet? You are not helping the people who are mentally unwell when you say you're a psychotherapist, which is a joke. You're not helping people who need help. You are attacking and further triggering and traumatizing the people who actually need your help. And the people who have worked on themselves and done so much healing, like myself, you want to mash them up because you're BBC jealous of my healing and of my journey and of my growth. How much different man did you breed for? That's what I'm telling you. Afua is not right. You bred for a whole bag of man and you don't have nothing to show for yourself. How many partners have you had? Why are people sitting down watching the most ratchet behavior? Why are people watching this and even expecting to see something of value when Afua has had time to prove her value over and over and over again? Why don't we see all of Afua's children rallying behind her at the march? Only the youngest one, who's a minor, came. That's because they weren't in support of it. So you guys can carry on drawing her out with her apparent mental ill health. She wants to destroy the destroyed, like Sherelle. She wants to attack the attacked, like Sherelle. And she wants to destroy the healed and the powerful, like me. Why? Why not just choose one side and stick to it? Why are you trying to destroy everyone? Why do you think you clearly have these delusions of grandeur? What is Afua actually offering to humanity, whether it's Black people? What is she offering that's of value to anyone? Look how I sat down and I read this thing. I'm going to go back to it, about misconceptions and myths around Grape, how a woman's cleavage cannot cause Grape, how a woman showing her clothes, her body cannot cause Grape, because the most popular item associated with Grape is what? A child's t-shirt and a pair of pajamas. What value are you bringing to mental perceptions around SA when you're here with your misogyny, your dick worshipping, female hating behavior? Don't you see that this woman is a troll? She does not even care about her own cause, that she has put herself there to do it. Who told Afua to go and do this kind of work? Who told her that? Why is Afua trying to attack people like myself? I have helped at least 70 women in my working journey with one-on-one trauma recovery help. Remember that you can do yoga as trauma recovery. You can do meditation as trauma recovery. You can do Reiki as trauma recovery. I'm also an astrologer. I'm a tarot reader, and I'm an Aoife priestess. How many people have contacted me and said, I was assaulted yesterday, Linnea. My friend came to my house and assaulted me while my children were sleeping. You think it's 1 and 2? Who told Afua to do what she's doing when even the people who are essentially keeping their heads down? I've never made this a big thing to go and tell people this is what I've been. For what? For what? It not help nobody. Who is actually helping to protect the people who are actually doing the work? Don't piddle me off. She better start teaching now. She better start teaching, because she's a dance bat. she should. Let me tell you something. You guys don't watch my videos and don't learn nothing. I know that for a fact, because I'm stay so. Cause me a teach from me at 18. Performing arts, the whole thing. So me know say, true, me like surface conversations. I want to learn something from the person I'm talking to. I want to learn something from whatever I'm reading, whatever I'm watching, even just looking on the high street. I want to learn something, And so, Cazella, I can't deal with you no more. I'm not reading out that comment. Why are you guys there just dissing up Afua in the comments like that? Am I saying things like that? She's going to start teaching. I already read that. Okay, I'm not reading anymore for a little while, because I'm just going to say some of the things you guys are saying, I agree with, especially the dentist part. But you know what? What's that saying? Monkey see, monkey do. Me not depend on monkey see, monkey do with Afua. So we have to keep the standards up. We have to keep the standard. And also, this is the other thing. I didn't understand. I said it before in my life, how Afua can be body shaming when she got. Now let me just stop saying certain things, because I have a feeling that I'm going to offend people that I don't actually want to offend. Because this body shaming thing, and you got a bag of man. Like, I know you've been intimate with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't chat to me. Don't even play with me. The catfishing her baby father is just wrong. What killed me is when she came out and she started to diss Viv. I was like, wow. So everyone that's been in your crutches, you're rubbing later. You're rubbing them out on your platform. So if they ain't shit, then you ain't shit neither. Because no. You can't be like that. If you watch my documentary series, I do not talk about any of my partners. Ever. That's not my style. What the hell? Can you not have anything that's sacred? So nothing's private. So you're just there, your whole leg spread out. Everyone can look straight up and in between your legs. And later, me never grow so. Me never grow so. Okay, this is from the Independent. Cutting that out now because you look. I see what you guys just want to cuss her up, cuss her up, cuss her up, cuss her up. Oh my God, Kim, I'm done. Right, this is from the independent.co.uk. I'm trying. See, it's not even me. I'm trying to be peacemaker here. Kim, I'm done. Yeah, that last comment, I'm done. You know what? You're the second person that said that to me this week. That's how much I'm done. Oh, God of his mercy, help me, please. This is from the independent.co.uk. I'm going to read this and we're going to come back to that. Majority of men believe women more likely to be SA'd if wearing revealing clothes, study suggests. Now, this goes in conflict to the article that I read before. A majority of men in the UK think a woman is more likely to be SA'd or harassed if she wears revealing clothes, new research suggests. An exclusive survey conducted for The Independent found that 55% of men believe that the more revealing the clothes a woman wears, the more likely it is that she will be harassed or assaulted. I'd love you to ask some Muslim women if that's actually true, who wear full cover-up and full hijab, but still experience SA. And I'm not saying that with any kind of disrespect. It's just a fact. The research by polling company DCYFOR found men are markedly more likely to hold this view than women, with 41% of female respondents subscribing to the view that revealing clothing invites unwanted sexual advances. The research was based on a sample of 1,104 adults and was weighted to be representative of the UK population. Dublin Grape Crisis Centre, which runs a free 24-hour helpline for people who have been assaulted, said the findings illustrated how deeply entrenched victim blaming is in society, just like that mad woman Afua. You victim blamer, you abuser. She's always the person who wants to re-traumatize and take someone's trauma and beat them with it. Just like your mum must have treated you like crap when you were growing up. And I feel that that is behind her mental health disorder, because this whole thing about victim blaming, you can't do victim blaming and you're a women's rights activist. You fake. Serious, I have to say that again. No, I have to stop doing that. You mentally unwell woman. And I just want to say this. Kim, I did say this before. For the past 2 weeks, it's been you're sick in your head, you dirty girl. I call Afua dirty girl, you know? You're dirty girl. Because obviously, she's been blowing our minds, but let's just take it to where it needs to work to dwell. This person is mentally unwell, and that is that. And that's the reason why anyone who brings any kind of objective views, any kind of opposition to what is being said, they get put in the timeout. I tend to delete people when they're coming. I know that they're Afua's followers just coming in. Were you chatting Afua? I don't even mention her name yet. They'll come and say that. I won't time out you. I'll just delete you. I'll block you. But we can have, like, we have had times where we don't have exactly the same views. We can hash it out. It doesn't mean that I'm going to ban you or put you in time out, but that's because I'm actually mentally well. Okay? And I don't think that I am a hoo-ha-ha over everyone else. Right, let's have a look. Okay. Okay. Nolan Blackwell, head of the center, says there is an assumption not born out of any evidence that the way a woman dresses is likely to lead to rape or assault. We know that people are great wearing a variety of clothing. The idea that a woman who goes out scantily clad will be pounced on is the most common myth across generations. They could be in their jeans, hear this, school uniform, or pajamas. You said the pajamas keep coming up. Okay. She added, we blame the victims and we ask them what they could have done to prevent it. She added, maybe it's as old as time. In the Bible, the first thing Adam said to God was, women tempted me. Grape Crisis describes rape as an act of violence and control, adding that perceived attractiveness of a victim has very little to do with it. For the majority of female victims of Grape, the offender was a partner or ex-partner, 45%, you know. So 45% of female victims of Grape, the offender was a partner or ex-partner, 45%, you know, or someone who was known to them other than as a partner or family member, 38%. So 38% of women who are victims of Grape, the person was known to them other than as a partner or family member, but the person was still known to them. Was 45 plus 38, 70, 83. 83% of women who experience Grape know the person. 83%. Some 13% of female victims reported the offender as a stranger. Dr. Hannah Bowes for the Center of Research into Violence and Abuse at Durham University said, it is very depressing people think this despite awareness raising campaigns from Grape crisis centers and the police trying to dispel myths around Grape. I am frustrated. This is her. I am frustrated. We have not made more progress. You are always going to get a pocket of society that does not have a full understanding, but you would hope that these myths would not be so prevalent by now. She added, the research demonstrates we have a fundamental misunderstanding about causes of Grape. It's not about biological urges. It is about violence against women and control of women. And that is why most sexual violence happens in the home with people they know. It is not what about what you wear. They did a typo there. In September 2018, figures revealed that the number of rape cases being brought by the Crown Prosecution Service, the CPS, had plummeted to the lowest in a decade, despite an increase in the number of incidents reported to the police. The CPS charged 849 fewer defendants in 2017 to 2018, 849 fewer defendants, you know, than the previous year, a 23.1% fall. Last December, MPs warned specific support services for victims could cease to exist due to a simultaneous lack of funding and a rise in the number of people needing help. That made no sense. A report by, sorry, I'm like, huh? Oh, there's a lack of funding, but there's a rise of the people needing help. A report by said sexual assault victims have waited up to 14 months for counseling because specialist support services are finding it difficult to keep up with the unprecedented demand. So has that in any way changed your perception around, one, the woman's relationship with the person who she is assaulted by, two, how women dressing and how it increases or decreases their chances of being raped? If most women are raped in the home and you actually put on your clothes to leave the house, like with me, I don't really get dressed up in the house. I just be like, whatever, right? So aren't these myths? So why is Afua being a perpetrator of such a disgraceful myth around SA and the Grape of women when she herself claims to be an activist? You listen, mental health is a real problem in this country, you know, everywhere. I went home to Jamaica, I saw a lot of people were suffering from deep depression. I don't know if they knew they were depressed. I don't think that the people around them knew. It was just accepted something wasn't quite right here. I don't suspect that Afua has depression. I'm not going to try to diagnose her, because if I diagnose her as a priestess, yeah, if I could go and find out. I'm not gonna come and tell you guys, because that wouldn't be ethical, but I might find out. One of the reasons why Afua is like this is because she's an ingrate. She has such a lack of appreciation for even the fact that her backside isn't in prison anymore. She is angry that she was locked up for so long, and for that reason, she feels like she should have been a big, you know, the leader of the UK. Hey, she should have been, she wanted to be further than she presently is. But there's a level of being an ingrate wrapped up in that, because she doesn't have appreciation for the basic things like life, water, food, somewhere to rest your head. I'm thankful for some real basic things like clothes to put on, resources to explore, things to learn. You know, I was going to learn a new language the other day. I'm like, wow, you should really push yourself to learn languages, because never before has it been so easy to get the resources to all of these different languages that you might need. You get what I'm saying? Let me hear what you guys are saying. You guys better be behaving yourself in the comments, you know, because if your comment is too dredgy, I'm not going to read it out, because I'll read it and I'll acknowledge that I've read it, but all them, sorry, some of the comments from before, I was like, bro, didn't I say that we're trying to keep things like, you know, she could never be my mom. Aren't her kids embarrassed? Shame. I forgot that I could see. I'm still getting used to this thing, you know. I forget that I can share the comments. She talks about your body. It's bad. Sorry, she is doing she's not doing one thing to me, you know. She's doing me a favor, because she's just showing up. Because I roll with serious heads, you know. Yeah, male and female. I roll with some serious people. That's why so many people reached out to me like, whoa, you have unraveled Afua. She is saying the most diabolical things about you, but she is the one who appears to be unraveling as she's saying these things. How can she think that? And she says I don't roll with dunce people. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, Kazella says she can't talk about body. I mean, I don't know what her body looks like. I don't business. I don't give a. I'm not into women. Do you know? And that's another thing. That's another thing. I'm starting to really wonder, separate to the mental health. I should have brought my pendulum. I'm trying to wonder if Afua was into me. I'm trying to wonder if she's into women. And if she is, I'm not hating her for it, but I'm just trying to wonder, something not right with you, you know. Why you in on my breast them suffer? You know, have your own, I want them. Come me not pre. Nobody else cleavage or whatever, because I got my own and I enjoy it. Grandly. I enjoy my body. So you see when you get this kind of devil energy where you don't even know, is it mental health? Is it evil? Is it bad mind? It's all of them. It's all, you don't even know. You can't really the head of someone like that, big, tough back woman. Please, God. This is the kind of things I'll say, like, please, God. When I'm 53. You know what I'm saying? This would be my nightmare, to be like that person. Please, God. When I reach certain ages, even now, it would be a nightmare. So... And Afua is you are watching you. I don't understand that sentence, Kim J, underneath. She can't talk about anyone. You look lovely, by the way. Thank you so much. I give thanks to my ancestors. Again, hello. Stop a minute. Again. I can only beautify what I came into the planet with. I don't have any plastic surgery, any false nothing. So I can only beautify good food, good rest, hair, clothes, adornments. Do you get what I'm saying? Makeup. This is as old as the oldest African woman on this planet. These are goddess things. And for that reason, sticking to the point, ladies, I know in England, I don't know what kind of narrative is being put out sometimes, but don't let yourself go. Do not let yourself go. Do not let, because life can be hard, and I understand. And we have so many different challenges and just so many different things, whether it's the workplace, sometimes our children, sometimes partners, friends, dreams, bills. There's so many things pulling on you all the time, right? I'm begging you, do not let your physical appearance go. How you look is totally linked to how you feel about yourself. Now, I can say that I do not have a need to wear makeup most of the time. Seriously. So I don't need to wear, like, I don't need to, like, oh, I'm going out, I have to go put on makeup. That's not actually how I move. But I like to take care of myself. I like to make sure I'm smelling nice, my hair, my skin. I make my own lotions. You get what I'm saying? For years, I've been making my own lotions. I'm not going to be having dry face, dry skin, clothes that can't fit. Also, one next thing what woman for do, go to the bra shop and get your breasts measured. Because sometimes, sorry, I'm proper yeah, this is goddesshood. Sometimes you change weight, whatever, your back size might not have changed, but your cup might have changed. Go to where do I usually go? Bravismo. Some old back in the day, people would go to Marks and Spencer's, get your breasts measured, get a bra fitting, not breast measured, get a bra fitting, and also get some new bras, get some new underwear, wear good coats, wear good shoes, not just on a special occasion. That's another thing. Sometimes I will get dressed up to the nines, fur coat, everything. Okay, I'm gonna walk my dog because some me want to look to there. Cause this your vibration you're depend. You understand? So take care of yourself. Buy yourself a little mascara if that's your thing. Beautify yourself. Don't let nobody from the fake woke community tell you that you aren't to make any effort and your only value is to make one man come use you out. You understand? Don't make no one do that to you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your appearance. You know, the way how you guys are rubbing out Afua's appearance, I saw it before, right? Yeah. Why is she putting herself in a position for people to rub her out like that? She's saying that she's from Jamaican stock. I'm from Jamaican stock. And that's why she beats her child. But she's not saying, I'm from Jamaican stock. Let me go straighten out my teeth. Listen, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Richie Boo says, it was me that told her that. She turned on me in the chat like she knows me and talk about I wouldn't step to her if I saw. What kind of chat is that indeed? Let me read that back. She turned on me in the chat and like she knows me and talk about I wouldn't step to her if I saw her. What kind of chat is that for a big tough nut woman? What the backside? I know a Jamaican Mitchie Boo, you know. I don't know if it's the same person. She says I'm Jamaican. No talk to Miss Sareng. She look, oh God, we can't read that part. Oh, she looks something, yeah. Imagine she had get exposed day in day out. Them expose her. Everyone is stupid, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I know that I was a little bit abrupt with people who said they've been banned from her comments. But I'm like, bruh, if you want to go to a mad people party, don't complain when they diss you or when they, you know, when they bring all them, because it's a mad people party. She a mad woman. This is Mitchie Boo. She a mad woman. Every day, Claire Kennedy. Every day, Claire Kennedy is somebody else. That's the thing, because she said Claire Kennedy was DJ Styler. Claire Kennedy is Afro Rose's worst nightmare. We're not gonna read up the part that neither. Why you said that, Mitchie Boo? You said that she is, you know, like she's a lesbian. Why you said that? Is that opinion or is that fact? Kazella. Kazella's busting out laughing. Mitchie Boo. Every time Every time she follow with women, she cuss them body part because she's a blood. Listen. You know it's gonna come out. I didn't even cuss the sweet Bible, and I got some sweet, but I haven't even mentioned them yet because she's a wicked, jealous woman. Why are you cussing that woman's body parts? Why y'all watch them body part for? Why y'all watch it? Why were you there anyway, you pervert? She's a pervert. Lord of his mercy. Mental health is a real thing. She came for me, Vex. Oh no, me Vex. Oh God, don't be vexed. Ah, because you guys crack me. I don't even have to talk. I just need to read. Because Ella says, look pan our door. Let me tell you something. You ever eat sugar cane yet? Woo! In Jamaica, right? We used to have cane in the yard. So especially when my parents were out, I would go and I'm off the cane, you know. That's how I know sugar cane can make you drunk, like drunk. So I love cane, I love tough things. You get me? So like June plum, cane, pineapple. It took me years to get into like soft fruits. You know, you chew up the cane and you try it up and you try it up and you try it up and you have the trash, that dry looking trash. That's what she looks like to me, dry trash. Mitchy Boo said, but now I met no threat. Wicked S. Nicholas said, why are you saying plastic surgery? She doesn't need plastic surgery. She needs to come better. She needs, hey, what's up, Kerry? I'm missing all the comments. Sorry. You know what? I don't even know because Afua looks drawn like that because she burns too much weed. Do you understand? So it's like a suck out thing because she not eat good with it. So it have a suck out thing. But you know what? That's interesting because it could also be the what's the word? Sorry, getting tired. Her consuming such copious amounts of weed could, without eating, because she should be, eating so she can hold that, if that's the case. The substance misuse is most likely, it goes hand in hand with the mental problems. Kerry says, blessings, Kerry, are blessed. It gave me a shout out tonight again because I comment on your page. Miss said, thank you. What gave you a shout out tonight? You cracked me up. Welcome. Let me see what Kim J was saying before. Because Kim J was chatting, then Mitchie Grew just come and... Okay, let me go back. You lot are cracking me up. Why are you guys, everybody turn island in the comments, look on our door. I was saying Afua IFT. What does that mean? I was saying Afua, if you are of course she's watching. Listen, this is a mental sickness. If you are watching, as we know, you are nasty and unkind. I always big up Afua. Almost every video I do, I say, big up Afua. You should think about doing this particular thing. Time is longer than rope, And low vibration and high vibration is like oil and water. So we just don't mix. So no matter how much Afua you try and mix me up, you won't be able to because we are not cut from the same cloth. You're on breakdown and I'm on reconstruction. I like I'm not into just bashing down. I'm trying to build something new. Do you understand? Every day in my life, it's what am I giving birth to? What am I creating? What am I developing? What am I improving? Not who am I gonna, if I had to cuss, the way how Afua cusses so much people every week, if I had to do that, I would have to be a total loner because I'm just not interested even in that kind of life. If I have to be every week attacking people, I would say, Lord, let me become a nun or something because I am not interested in that kind of life. And when that happens, your mind isn't at ease. You need to have a washout after to give yourself a washout because some of your thoughts some of your expressions is so full of shit because you are full of shit. You need to wash all that out. Then when you have the washout, find yourself a therapist and get on your knees and say, I've totally effed up. I'm pretending to all of these dunce people like everything's okay, but I know that I have become an imbecile in my womanhood. How about that? Oh my gosh, Michibu, I can't read that. I know her from jail and fraud. I saw me cuss her same way. She'll call my name after she banned me. Me calm and thing, I ask question and support. But she no know. She no know me say. And so she moved in jail up underneath the woman them. But me, I saw she move up in jail underneath the woman them. But me talk. But Bex, if me talk, let me go. Oh God. So I feel really upset that person. Kazella says Mitchie. Ah! Kazella's cracking me up. Kazella's like, Mitchie, just calm down, darling. She's watching. Nicola says she's watching from her queen nanny. How dare you? Do you know that I am a descendant of the Maroons? How dare you with your queen nanny? You mean Queen Banny, because you need to get banned off of social media. How dare you? See the disrespect to the ancestors for foolishness as well. Mitchie Boo said, me Bex cut there was no need. Me just commenting and she cursed me out like, what you are do? All right, I'm going to give you the same treatment. Why were you there? And she said, I met somebody. So, you're going to mix up with mad people and expect, say, anything positive could come out of it. You have to slap yourself on your hand and say, what was I doing? Seriously. Gosh, that was so funny. I'm so sorry. You guys have cracked me up. Okay, I want to just wrap this up. I want to read from the blueskycenter.org.uk. Okay, let Afua take inspiration and start to nourish her mentals with some true factual information so she can stop being verbally sexually deviant in the way she speaks of and to women. She's moving like she's got something between her legs that's long and she wants to ram it up in someone. How about that? That's what you see. For me to say that is the impression that I'm getting when I'm hearing, she said this, like, what does she want to buy my front? Why is she thinking so far down that dirty road? Does Afua live on dirty road? Yes, she does, because her mind isn't well. And so maybe she's a victim of her own behavior. Maybe where we're trying to give her, to say, do better because we think she has autonomy. Let's consider this. Suppose because of Afua's poor mental health, because you see Sherelle, you know who I mean when I say Sherelle, the same lady that Claire Kennedy posted the picture of, the videos of her and Afua saying the same thing about being their children, right? With Sherelle, I don't think she can help herself. I don't think she's just trying to be a wicked as. I think something is really, really not right. And she has spurned out of control. Why do we keep assuming that Afua can do better? Don't people do what they know? Answer me. Tell me, please. I'd love to hear. Please like the video. Why do we keep thinking that Afua can actually do better? Michibu says she's only bad for man and woman on. Yeah, well, that's another thing. Because one of these days I'm gonna say, hey, well, I'm down in these ends. Come meet me and come say that to my face. But is it true, say, me not try to lead with my gangster? Come and have a little gangster side, But it's not for this platform. Because I am that person that would say, hey, well, I'm at this address for the next 10 hours. Come and say that to my face. Do you understand? But, I can't really be drawing out the little mad people, them. You understand? It wouldn't be right. It would be mental health discrimination. And now I have to be mindful because I don't want to be practicing mental health discrimination against Afua. Whew. Okay, let me read some more. These are the myths. I'm just going to wrap up some reading about the victims. The victim myth. No heterosexual man grapes another man. Fact. There is a myth that only gay males are victims of grape or serious SA, or that only gay men grape other men. Grape is not a gay crime and does not discriminate. As with women, the perpetrator of sexual violence against men is more likely to be a family member or someone that they know. Kerry Mussington, she has been victimized. Okay, so this is in relation to Afua and her mentals. She has been victimized over and over, and yes, she has PTSD, and they should leave her alone. She went for help and got exploited. Oh, you're talking about Sherelle. Are you talking about Sherelle? That's you know how I know? Because every time when Kerry speaks about Afua, she writes IT, and me, I actually read it like IT, like information technology. And then I have to back up and say, oh, no. That means it. So Kerry's saying Sherelle has been victimized over and over. And yes, she has PTSD and they should leave her alone. She went for help and she got exploited by it. Yeah, and that's a shame because the first I knew of Sherelle was when someone told me to check out Afua's content and I cried. And I didn't know nothing about Sherelle. I didn't know. I just knew the way how Afua was talking to this lady. She's saying she's sick in her head. If you think the lady is sick in her head, why are you talking to her like that? Like, where is your compassion? Where is your care? Why are you actually talking to, and that time, because at that time, I really thought she was a psychotherapist. But I should have known, because one thing I've noticed, especially as a priestess within Ifa, I don't care what y'all say you're qualified in when it comes to mental health. When you come to the feet of the Orisha, nothing on a head gone. And me learn that, you know. Because me sit down upon hundreds of readings and just listen and be like, And as much as externally we can put on all of these, you know, falsities, the truth is most time it's like the humblest person has the best mental health. The person who's just keeping it cool, keeping it, you know, a lot of people who are so angst up, so I'm on the front line. They're so angry, they don't want to take care of their hygiene, their beautification. They don't want to be woman or man anymore. They just want to be. Them people are mentally unwell. Do you understand? Anyway, thank you, Kerry. Next myth. Only women get graped, and then only certain types of women get graped. Fact, anyone can be graped. There is no such thing as a typical grape victim, and it is certainly not only young women. Young children, men, pregnant mothers, and elderly women can be raped. And I forgot to say that. I don't know what's going to happen with this video because I try not to say all this but it just kind of got out of control. When the mentally unbalanced Afua said that as a survivor of SA, I shouldn't be dressing how my God-given perception choices chose for me to dress, because I would be attracting another assault and I look like a hooker. One of the things that I meant to ask her is, in addition to, was she dressed like a hooker when she was groomed and fondled and felt up as a child by an older man, by an adult in her parents' house? I also wanted to ask, what about the elderly women, like seriously elderly women that are assaulted in their own homes? Are those elderly women being assaulted because they're showing a cleavage? This is the reason why when people come over here and start saying, Afua would diss me, I'm like, well, what are you doing there? Because she is a sick head So for you to be there, unless you're just new to this issue, you are entertained, condoning, intrigued, and interested in the sickhead business, which means more than likely, a couple of days from now, you will bring that stuff to me too. Anyone who says something as barbaric as a woman's cleavage means that they shouldn't be dressing like that because they've been great. What about where was your dad and your mom, Afua, when that man was fondling you in their own house? Wake up. People, you need to get Afua some help. Because if she says that kind of thing to the wrong person, remember that everyone knows where she lives, that's the next thing. I could just roll up on her road and just wait for her. If she says that to the wrong person, she will get knocked out and she might not get back up. You don't know who is who on this planet anymore, Don't assume that you can say anything you want to say to someone online when everyone knows your address where you and your child live. Are you serious? Can you guys not see that this is mental health? You need to help Afua. If you care about her, if you care about her cause, don't leave it until it gets taken out of your hands, because the way how it's going to go down, everyone, even some of her enemies, are going to feel sadness because it's going to be violent and barbaric. Remember I said that. So if you care about your cult leader, you show that you care and you force her to go into healing. How dare. Men can be great as the offense includes penetration of the mouth or anus as well as the vagina. Many men are great. Great affects all ages and all social classes. It is often not so much about desire as power and control, and is often linked to abusive relationships. There is no shame in being the victim of Grape. It could happen to any of us. So why is this donkey mouth, sick-minded, mentally unbalanced woman thinking she's going to get away with trying to shame me for an experience that I expressed on my own platform? How dare she? To the children of Afua, if you don't get your mum in line, I promise you, when she is pulled into line, you guys will all regret not initiating it yourself. If you don't deal with an issue when you have the power to influence the issue, nature will take away your power. But when it starts to unfold, you will all regret it. This woman is totally crazy. She's out of her mind. And as a result of that, she has gone from being a women's rights activist to being an abuser of women. And she's not going to get away with it. Not while breath is in my body. How about that? You cannot go from being an alleged women's rights ambassador to being a verbal, violent, traumatizing, triggering abuser of women. You can do that with your little cult, pretty little goats of Baphomet cult followers. But there's some of us out here, we're not going to have it. So I am imploring anyone connected to Afua Rose, if you care about Afua Rose, make sure she gets some help. Because when the Hutta clap's striking her, no one is going to like it. Oh, all right, next one. Myth. Victims of Grape will report it straight away. Fact. Sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. There are a whole host of factors in this. Being great leaves victims feeling very confused and upset, particularly if their trust has been broken by someone they know. All sorts of concerns may rush through their heads. Some people will tell someone right away, but others may take hours, days, weeks, months, or even years before they feel that they can do so. Some people never tell anyone. Research suggests that only about 11% of rape victims report it to the police. Sadly, many children don't feel able to disclose what has happened to them at that time. Sometimes children don't reveal what happened to them to protect a parent from the pain of knowing about the abuse. To protect the parent from the pain that knowing about the abuse would cause them. Myth. A lot of rape allegations are false and made to cover up regretted sexual activity. Fact. Research suggests that the proportion of reports of rape that are false is no higher than that for any other violent crime, perhaps about 3%. But as is said above, most rape victims do not tell the police at all. And you know what? You see, Afua, I'm gonna get you. Yeah, I decided that. I realized, you know what? You're mentally unhealthy. You got to come off the internet. Then you got to come off the internet. As I just said what I said, I literally just remembered what I said earlier on is that Afua went onto her platform and basically told a lie on this woman, whether it's true or not. As far as I know, it's not true, but whether it's true or not, it's not right. She went on the platform last week, Wednesday, and she said that this woman had been raped by this man called Kwame. The woman never tell her that. The woman never gave her no permission to say that. She's attacking the woman. She's attacking the woman, right? She's not saying it out of love or care. She's attacking the woman and saying, you were raped by so and so, because she also has issues with the Kwame, with the so and so, right? So Afua is going into the lane of the same like these SA offenders. She is now trying to use false reports, not only of her own trafficking, grooming, and what's the next thing? Grape. But she's going on her platform to harass, hate speech, malicious communications, to say that a whole grown woman has actually been assaulted when the woman never told her that. You know, what kind of bumba clout wickedness is that? Afua, I'm having you. That's what I'm saying. Afua can be on her petty Betty stuff on her platform, bring people like, you lot can chat me till you're weak. You can't recreate what I've done. You can't recreate what I've done. But watch what I'm going to do with you guys. Watch what and that's why I have to give thanks for Claire Kennedy. She has been, what do you call it? Like, she's been wrapping circles or drawing circles around you, Beatrice. She's been wrapping circles. She's been having you like a kangaroo, just jumping because you deserve it. This last thing, it's one thing you want to call up my name and say I'm like a hooker, like your mother wasn't giving several men her front when you were growing up. And that is not an allegation. Afua told me that. So if it's a lie, it's because she's a liar. Like your mother wasn't giving several women her front, several men, her front. You want to call me a hooker, right? But then that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. How do you go on your platform and talk about a grown woman with children and call her name and say that she's been great? This is the opposite of what your platform is supposed to be about. So I am going to have you. You know that British saying, going to have you, you know? Yeah. Let me check the date. The 6th of April. This live went off on the 5th of April. The 5th of April, 2024. Mark this date, everyone. Mark this date, you know. Mark this date. Because on behalf of myself, on behalf of all the other women, because in this article it says only 11% of the women, this is a UK article, only 11% of the women who have been assaulted come forward. What do you think Afua's behavior is doing for the, 89% of women who don't come forward? Is she encouraging anyone to report officially, to report to the police what they experience when she, as a woman who is pretending to be a woman's rights activist, is one, trying to attack one woman with the fact that she's been assaulted, even though the woman's been very open about it. But two, she's lying on another woman, saying she's been assaulted without permission, confirmation, or any information like that. No, she's not helping this issue of women's rights. And for that reason, I would like some people to join me as a team. I need to contact some women's rights organizations. I need to go to the higher ups. Do you get what I'm saying? I need to go to some pre-established women's rights organizations to highlight what Afua is doing and to be advised upon it, because she is moving just like the Grape is. She is causing as much damage. Why is she attacking women like this? Does every woman represent her mother? Why are you attacking women like this? Mental health, mental schmelf. Something has to be done. The women cannot be the beating stick for Afua's mental abnormalities. The men cannot be Afua's beating stick for her mental issues, her mental health issues. We've had enough. Afua doesn't have anybody else to attack within her own family unit apart from her own children. Remember that. Everybody else has already got it. So where is this going, and who is next? And do you think that we're going to tolerate this? Do you think we're going to tolerate this? So mental health, mental health, while she is still being active, while she's still in existence, we need to go to people who have developed decades upon decades women's rights organization, and to run this conduct of Afua by them and ask, is this correct? Or is she actually moving like she's on the side of the Grape is? Is she taking? That's why I could interchange the behavior of the offender with the behavior of Afua in exact. Remember, I just changed the words, and it was the same exact thing, because she is not bringing about equal rights, justice, healing, change of laws. People need to change laws to get changes in the country. Laws are really important. You can't just say, oh, that's the laws. And no, you have to keep petitioning for laws to change to actually make them more realistic to human experience, right? So what is she doing? So let me just tell this categorically. Anytime I do my live, if I'm doing a live at the same time Afua is doing a live, and you come over here, yeah, and you tell me Afua has been, I want to say, good for you. You deserve that, because you are there giving your spiritual energy, your focus, your perception, your soul, your life force to a deviant woman. Mental health, mental health. She's there, isn't she? So someone has to be accountable. And me saying that she has a mental health imbalance doesn't mean that she isn't the same person who's responsible for herself, because she's a big, tough black woman. There's nobody else that is responsible. And that's why I'm encouraging those who love, or because you can't love the devil. So those of you who think you love her, think you care about her, whatever, her children, sort her out, get her into healing, because when this whole thing pops down, everybody's going to feel it. Whenever I see something extremely wrong with someone, similar to Afua, before I even stopped talking to her, I just pulled myself way away. Because they have a saying in Jamaica, right? I don't even know if it's a saying, it's just an understanding. When there's something lick that person, you know, if you're too close, it will hit you too. So you need to back out. Back out. Because if something comes and crashes on your head, and I'm so close to you, I'm getting splinters, I'm getting shards in me. So you have to know how to take away yourself at different times, for real, in real life. And this, what I'm seeing, even what I'm reading, is showing me, when does Afua share this information on her channel? My channel is not dedicated to rape. My platform is actually not like, oh, every video here is, no, that's not what it's about. It's about what's on my mind. So if I come out next week and start talking about avocado, yeah, that's what it is. It's literally about what's on my mind that I have prioritized to share. And this information, free information, this is why no one has any excuse. You can just Google. All I Googled was, is it a woman's fault? Oh, no, I Googled, does the way a woman dresses affect the chances of her being assaulted? And a bag of articles came up. You know, going back years and years. Let me read one more myth and then we'll wrap this up. Thank you. Myth. Women say no, but they mean yes. Fact. If a woman says no, she means no. Sex without consent is rape. Actually, saying, shouting, or whispering no is not necessary. The onus is on the male to be sure that his partner is willing. So if someone is motionless, rigid, or either staring at the wall or has their eyes tightly shut, that should raise the question, are they really wanting this to happen? People can't consent to something if they are asleep or too drunk to know what is going on. That is true. So yeah, that's pretty much where I am. A woman's cleavage causes Grape, according to mental challenge. Oh, I should have written mentally. Mentally challenged Afua Rose. Hashtag, this is Linnea and I am surviving Afua. There are so many people in the comments. People I've already spoken to, people I haven't. They are surviving Afua. When Afua makes small of this serious issue of SA, how do you think this translates for when the next woman goes to the police? When so many people are reporting Afua to say, she called my name for this. Men and women. Don't get it twisted that it's only men. Men and women making claims. How does this all impact survivors of the future? Is she helping or is she degrading this issue? Is she creating more negative attitudes around this issue or is she improving them? Please, you guys, you need to reach out and to offer her some help. Because if you don't, I will be right here to say, I told you so. And I will say it. I'm going to say it. Kerry Mussington, degrading treatment. Of course, this is degrading. She's degrading people who are already being degraded when they go to the police and ask for assistance. She's degrading people. She's calling out. Imagine she called out this man's name's Kwame, right? The woman never told her that had happened. So she's lying on Kwame and she's lying on the woman. So Afua think about it. She calls out a woman and said she knows that this woman has been raped by Kwame. Kwame did not rape this woman and this woman didn't tell Afua that. So Afua, the typical snaked tongue, a split tongue, she's using the two sides of her split tongue, her forked tongue, to tell lies on two people at once. Who does that help? Does that help future people who may experience SA? Does that help another man who is accused of SA when it's not even goddamn true? No, who does it help? Afua and her mental disease. So stop feeding into Afua's mental disease. Draw boundaries, draw breaks, say no. No means no. And on that note, I want to say this. No means no, and I say no to the mental illness and disease of Afua Rose. I say no to all of the disgusting conduct, expressions, and communications that are symptoms of her mentally unwell mind. I will not accept or tolerate the mental sickness that leads to deviousness of Afua Rose anymore. This is the last time. Nothing can happen again in regards to Afua Rose and my name in the future where I will accept or tolerate her mental sickness. I am not her mum. I am not her dad. I am not her sister. I am not her brother. I'm not her baby father. I'm not her gal. I'm not her pick-me. Those people who are close to Afua Rose, they need to decide that they're either going to fall back and let Afua receive the full effects of her behavior, or they are going to encourage Afua by guiding her to go into full-time healing while she steps away from social media. What she is doing is she is sending out sickness into people. She's attacking survivors. She's attacking people who haven't raped anyone. She is telling so many lies out of her mouth that I personally am not going to accept it anymore. And I ask that anyone who is having these experiences of Afua to report her backside to the police, not just for harassment, not just for slander, not just for miscommunications, malicious communications and hate speech, not just for harassment, but for bullying, for attempted bullying from a 53-year-old sucker-looking granny. Don't allow in this big 2024 year, no one to shift you out of yourself. You don't need to go buck wild. You don't need to go and cuss about a bag of bad word. You definitely don't need to be in a sparring match with her. She's not worthy of that. She doesn't even have the intelligence to interpret or compute basic truths and basic facts. But what I do recommend is that you take her to the police. And I also recommend that you reach out to Claire Kennedy if you need assistance with anything related to that. And if you feel like you don't want to, just go ahead and make your complaint. Go ahead and make your complaint, because what's that song? 7-day rise and 7-day fall. That's Egyptian. Serious times. This is the end of it. So please, that's where I'm at with this. This is a serious thing. I think reading out these facts have actually shifted the focus from Afua to what do you think you're doing? You're attacking survivors. You're lying on women. You're saying that they've been raped. You're lying on men, and you're saying, like in the case of Kwame, this is a fact. You're saying he raped this woman when he didn't. Where is the end of your lies? You lied to your baby father. You said you was another woman. You lied to Auntie Shelley, and you said that you were Shelley Mackenzie and you'd been great. Where is the end of your lies? You and your delinquent following. Okay? So, yeah, sorry, you guys. That isn't even a rant. That's just like a declaration. That's a declaration like, oh, yeah. That's enough. You lie and say you didn't know Kevin Bennett when you were jankra lied, because I spoke to you about Kevin Bennett 6 months prior to the time that you came out, and you said you never heard about Kevin Bennett. So how many lies have we caught you in? You lied and said you were married to Viv Amun. You were never married to Viv Amun. You lied and said that you're a psychotherapist. You're not a psychotherapist. You lie and say, you see what I'm saying? You lie and, how much lies is this person's a pathological liar because she's sick in her head. You lie and say you don't live in, what's it, Ashmore Crescent or Ashmore Road, whatever the name of the road is. That is your address. You lie and say you never got your court papers. You got your court papers. You lie and say that DJ Styler's friend came and was being violent and trying to attack you and your daughter. Not Nagosa. Not Nagosena. Not one thing Nagosa. You is a wicked. And now it's time. So whether it's mental health, it's no excuse for unacceptable behaviors. And on that note, please remember, a woman's cleavage, the way how she dresses, the way how she adorns herself is not related to her experiencing assault. The most popular clothes connected to assault: a child's shirt, a school uniform, a pair of pajamas. Over 80% of women are actually assaulted by someone they know, whether it is their partner, their ex-partner, or someone else. Over 44% of women are assaulted in their homes or in the area close to their home. Stop spreading false knowledge. It's not even knowledge then. It's not knowledge. False information to mislead the people you claim to want to protect. Afua does not care about the survivors of assault. Afua cares about her and her face getting some kind of push, when most people, when they think about you, they think about a toilet that has been blocked up because it needs to be flushed. It needs to be flushed. And all of the decay, the feces, the stench, and the discomfort that comes from being around that for too long needs to be flushed away. You can always tell when someone is really about whatever the mission or the topic or the focus or the area of justice that they claim that they care about. You can always tell. And unfortunately, Afua, her Pretty Little Goat cult following moderators, her Pretty Little Goat cult following audience, and herself, they have lost their way. Okay, give thanks and praises. Give thanks to my creator and all of my guides into nature. They got me speaking facts. The divine will always support me with truth and justice and righteousness. The divine will always support me with that. So thank you so much. I know it's been a long, long, long one. It is actually 3 hours and 20 minutes. I'm going to stop doing this, you know. From now on, I think if I see the live getting too long, I'm going to come off and say, do you want us to keep talking? Let's come back on. But I think the 3-hour videos, you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're going to have to cut that down. So I will be coming tomorrow, the last live of the week. Let me tell you what the name of the live is or the topic, because I haven't scheduled it, but I will schedule it tonight. Tonight. And big up to everyone with your good ancestry. And you see these people with their skaggedy, raggedy ancestors trying to compare themselves to you. And not to say that any of my ancestors were perfect, but trust me, there's levels to this. That is the thumbnail for tomorrow's video. Afua Rose arrested for gender-based hate speech, harassment, and malicious communications. And I have had a good chat with a few people connected to this situation. And I think I can finally speak on it because there's so many layers. There's such a chronology. There's such a crazy shift of events. Like 1 minute this was going on, then that was going on. So this is to explain, one, why Afua got arrested, which I think we already got there by now. But what did she do? What did she say? How did she do it? How did she try and even con the people that work in the legal world? What excuses did she provide to try and get away with something that she is not getting away with? What was the impact of this? Do you think that when she's attacking people that there is no impact? Don't you think that there's a negative impact on that person's well-being, on their mental health, on their sense of peace and sense of safety? Do you think that an online attack just stays stuck on the Instagram or on the YouTube page? Don't you know that Afua is actually sending out energies, hoping that someone will just take themselves out and unalive themselves? Don't you see that this is a worshiper of death? She wants people to take themselves out for her false accusations. Cha. I didn't know you were still here. Blessings, Women, Culture and Business. Yes, I have been waiting for this review. Yes, thank you. So this is tomorrow. I don't even know how next week is going to go because I've got a lot of things to do next week. So I'm going to try my best. I'm not sure. I'll let you know as I know if I'm coming live or if I'm going to put out a video. I'm not sure yet. And still, they are calling the guy's names over there, and he's not even in the country. This is DJ Siler. That's what I'm saying. Don't let me cuss bad word. This is why I'm glad I brought the mental health thing up, but it doesn't remove accountability. Why is Afua Rose still calling up DJ Styler, not Styler G, DJ Styler's name? Is she sick in her head? Well, yes. Why is she still doing that? Because this situation isn't going away, you know, where she lied to her audience and said, oh, they didn't charge me and nothing's come off of it. They just let me go. That's a whole triple lie. this is not going away. This is only going to get worse. Every word that she utters, everything that she says goes towards her future demise. So we can't really question. I'm really sorry. Like, I know she's still calling his name, and I don't know. I am laughing at her a little bit because I know that her backside is going to feel it. That's how I feel about that. She is going to pay the price. She's not the Messiah. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, she's not Jesus. She doesn't get to get away. She doesn't get those kind of, like, she doesn't get anything that says you are exempt from paying the price of your actions. I'm not even saying that Jesus was like that he was exempt. That's fine. But thank you. So she's not exempt. So again, to me, that does speak of her poor mental health, because if you knew that you have an ongoing series of issues, legal issues, but you just, maybe when Afua did go prison, maybe she misses prison. Maybe she wants to go back. What about her daughter? Who's going to look after her daughter if she ends up in prison? Anyway, so yeah, that will be out tomorrow. I will schedule it so it will come out in about an hour or so. By the time you wake up, you'll see it will be scheduled. You see the time. I did do the schedule at 9 today, but when I realized how busy it was in the city, I wish I had done it for about 10. But now I'm glad I didn't, because it's been a little bit long. Please protect yourself, protect your mental health, protect your families, protect your loved ones. Don't tolerate, support, or condone the evil and iniquity that comes through broken beings with no soul and poor mental health. Some of these people, if they could say something that caused you to take your last breath, they would rejoice. Such is the evil that permeates every cell within their bodies. Know yourself and know about the other beings that are occupying this planet. You don't need to be in a space of fear, but you have to be real about things. You call a spade a spade. You call a fork a fork. You call a demon a demon. And on that note, I am Linnea, and you have been watching The Feminine Mind. Thank you all so much for watching with me so long. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tomorrow, if I see if it's going on too long, I forgot to do a part 2, because I think I can do the long 3-hour videos, because I don't want to overdraw on your energy. And I don't know. You can tell me what you think tomorrow, but I just feel like the shorter, the better. Do you get what I'm saying? So also look out for some excerpts. I'll be putting out some excerpts, some clips like what I did yesterday. Because the videos are long, a lot can be lost, and I don't want that to happen. So I will be putting out excerpts this weekend into next week. And by tomorrow, I'll have a clearer idea of what I'm doing next week. So love you loads. Wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves. Don't give up on your beauty. Don't make no man come mash you up, or a little crosses gal come speak ill over you. And I shall see you tomorrow. Have a good rest and enjoy the beginning of the weekend. Mwah.